Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is the Apostate Prophet. I hope everyone is having a fantastic day. Welcome to the most watched show on the planet and the known universe. Uh, I am back. I have been quite sick with the coronavirus, with COVID.
Oh, sick. It's
Yeah,
coronavirus.
yeah,
Coronavirus.
yeah. I have been sick. I'm still sick. I'm
You're
recovering.
sick.
Don't feel very, very well.
You're sick. You are sick.
But I am getting better. My throat is a little bit it's heavy and painful. My body still hurts, but I'm trying to get
That's,
back to working because I'm
that's what
tired of just
happens.
laying around and
What
all that.
happens when you? It's what happens when you eat the Quran and smoke the Quran.
Just now, I'm realizing that I'm still not completely mentally recovered. I guess
Well,
from
you never were.
it's funny because not everyone reports having these symptoms so much, but I feel like um, with COVID, this is the first time that I have it, or the first time that I know that I have it. But the whole mental thing, like the whole confusion and everything feels a little bit strange, has been there all along with me. And yeah, yeah, that's that. Or maybe it's just all the drugs that I'm doing. I don't know, like the
Mm-hmm.
meth, cocaine, everything. I don't know. Maybe I should just quit that. David, how you doing?
Hey, what's up?
Good, good, good.
How
What's
you
up?
doing?
Good, good. I'm doing very, very
So,
well. Yeah. How are you doing?
you tore up a Quran 3.5 years ago,
Yeah.
and here you are. Learned your lesson yet?
I yeah. Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, I shouldn't be doing this. Like,
Ooh, see, that's why you got COVID.
I shouldn't be doing this. If I do this, then I get sick, and then
You
people
just
say,
did that, and you got Allah punished you with COVID preemptively.
yeah, yeah,
You're sick. You are sick.
yeah. So anyway, today I don't know why I'm looking so blurry. I shouldn't be so blurry here.
You're
What's
not blurry from where I'm looking.
I'm
So
blurry
it's
from where I'm
probably your vision, probably your vision from COVID. So you're seeing blurry and thinking that you're blurry.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm blurry. Wait a minute. No, I'm pretty sure I'm blurry. It's blurry. So,
Yeah, no one cares.
I care. How about that? I care. Today we have while I was sick, I was expecting Israel to take a break from fighting Hamas while I was sick, but unfortunately they didn't. Apparently they don't care, so they kept fighting. And today we
That's weird.
received news of Israel starting the new year by killing one of the Hamas leaders. So that happened earlier today, which is very, 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 very nice. And it's also funny because people keep complaining like, why are they not precise, precision targeting? Why are they not doing surgical strikes against Hamas? How about that? They're scared. They can't do it. You see. And now that they actually took out a Hamas leader in Lebanon, the same people are now angry about that and say murderers. How dare they? Uh, good stuff.
Yeah, I have to say, because we've talked many times, and lots of people have pointed out how the leaders of Hamas, they stay in other places, but yeah, I strongly suspect a lot of those Hamas leaders, wherever they are gonna start dying at random times. I
Inshallah,
think that's going to happen. I think that's going to happen. I think that they're going to be dying.
they are going to be dying. Inshallah. So that's going to be good. That's going to be good. So today we want to actually look at this conversation, this interview here. I think you watched it, right? Did you watch it? Mia
No,
Shim's
no.
story
I
about what?
saw there was that initial clip that came out, and then yeah, I saw like a clip or two on Twitter, but I haven't watched the whole thing.
Why stuttering?
Yeah, I haven't watched it either. I was kind of waiting for I was kind of waiting for the show to watch it together, so I haven't really watched it. I have to say,
I was just going to say, I'm sure we've both seen over and over again when she was still in Hamas captivity and she was saying how well she was being treated. See, then she was speaking the truth. But after she was released, and she started saying they're all terrorists, well, then she's lying.
yeah.
The IDF is holding her hostage and making her say these things now.
That's funny. That is very funny. They do say, because there was a video that came up actually when news came out that she's being released. During her release, there was a video taken that came out. Good that you bring that up. Maybe I should actually just show this. It does come up during this discussion, as far as I have seen, but. Here it is. People keep bringing that up. People who are on the pro-Hamas side. This here.
People very good, very kind to me. כולו תמם, food good and the kindness and everything good.
When I saw this video first, when this came out and I saw this video, it was quite obvious to me that she doesn't mean any of the stuff that she's saying. Is this really how you express that? It's like such a vague way of telling everything was all right.
To me, כולו תמם, food good and the kindness and everything good.
The kindness and everything good, yeah. And the Hamas supporters, of course, immediately bought this and were like, you see, she says she was treated well, awesome, amazing. Now the same Hamas supporters or pro-Palestine people reject her in-depth explanation of what actually happened, because they're like, you see, when she was here, when she just came out, she said they were all good to me. Everything was okay. But now, of course, Israel paid her and told her to say bad things about Hamas. That's why she's saying bad things. It's very obvious that when this here was recorded, it was recorded and published by Hamas terrorists themselves while they were shipping her off within Gaza. So Hamas terrorists take her here, give her over to the Red Cross people, and also tell her to say some good things and record her and then publish that on their own channel. This is done by them. So this video is still in Hamas captivity, practically. The video that we are going to watch today is when she's finally free and she can say and do whatever she wants. Is there anything you want to add to this, David? If not, say so now or be quiet forever.
I only trust people when they're in Hamas captivity. That's the only time I'll trust anything they say. So anything you say after that, you can't really trust.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you.
It's the same thing. Like you can only trust reports about what's going on in the war from Hamas, right? Yeah. So you only trust what Hamas is reporting about what's going on in the war, and you only trust hostages when they are still under Hamas control. I don't know. I don't know why this is bothering you.
Yeah. Definitely. Yes.
למה החלטת להתראיין?
כי...
Wait, we have to read this?
Yes, it's not in English.
I just saw her speak English in the Hamas video. Go ahead.
היה לי חשוב לשקף את המצב
What if someone's just listening to this audio-wise? They're not going to know what's going on. Should I read everything out loud?
No.
Situation.
Don't do that. It's very annoying, unfortunately. So why are you giving this interview? Because it's important
you
to
could be the
expose
interviewer.
what actually happened. What? No.
I mean, we could do it. We could do it as a little play. You could read the interviewer's comments, and I'll read.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay. Fine. If I wanted to read, I would read a book. But go ahead.
So the first thing here is why are you doing this interview? And she expresses that it's very important for her to expose what actually happened. And from here on, we shall see what she's going to tell us. Somebody just gifted a bunch of memberships in the chat. Apparently, this has become a thing now. This is very nice. Thank you. Who was that? Pudicini gifted 20 Apostle Prophet membership. Thank you so much, Pudicini. Very, very nice.
The famous opera singer Buttigieg.
Very, very nice. Very nice.
He's the fourth tenor.
Very nice. Very nice. This leads to the expansion of our cult. Deborah Anderson also just became a member of the channel. That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Anyway, let's continue.
האמיתי על אנשים שחיים בעזה, מי הם באמת.
She wants to tell the truth about the people in Gaza and who they are and what she went through. Here is the thing. This is translated as I suffered a Holocaust. It's basically just in Hebrew they call the Holocaust a Shoah, which just means a calamity, a disaster, something really bad. So it doesn't necessarily mean Holocaust. And I saw some people take issue with the fact that it was translated this way. And some people say it shouldn't be Holocaust, it should just be calamity or disaster or chaos. While others say it's quite all right. I don't know personally what to think about this. But yeah. It's Shoah means disaster, but is also the common term in Hebrew used for the Holocaust.
אנחנו נוכל לבדוק את היד?
כן.
אני קצת שככה.
אני יכולה להתעלף.
אל תתעלפי.
תעשי.
לא, זה אומר שזה כואב לך.
That's her mom.
זה לא רק כאב, זה גם בראש.
That was from a bullet, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was
shot or something.
She was shot on the spot on her arm by a terrorist. I think she explains that in a bit.
What is that? What is that on her other arm? Those tattoos, or is it the part of it looks like tattoos?
Tattoos.
Those
Yeah.
tattoos? Okay.
Tattoos.
לא רוצה לדעת.
תראי ביום שישי.
חודש חלף מאז שחזרה הביתה, אחרי 55 ימים בעזה, ועכשיו מי השם חוזרת איתנו באומץ לרגעים המצלקים בשבי, מהנקודה שבה הכל התחיל.
אני ואליה, החבר הכי טוב שלי, זכרונו לברכה, יצאנו לנובה. מהרגע הראשון שבאתי לשם, הייתה לי תחושת מועקה כזאת. לא הצלחתי ליהנות. משום מקום התחילו לראות עלינו.
There is this footage that you probably have seen before, where they are partying at the festival, and then you can see these things appear in the sky. The Hamas terrorists approaching with the.
Oh, are those the gliders there?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd never seen. I don't recall seeing any of that. I saw everyone like posting it as a meme and stuff like that. But yeah,
Well, there is a footage of one of these videos where you can see that. There is not much more to the footage, I think, after this. I don't know.
מחבלים לרצוח שם אנשים, ואני ואליה היינו הראשונים, בין הראשונים שכאילו יצאו משם. נכנסנו לאוטו, היה לחץ מטורף, אני נהגתי. פתאום אליה צועק לי, מי היורים? אני לוחצת על הגז כדי, את יודעת, לעקוף אותם.
Wow, so she very early escapes with her friend. They get into a car, they start driving. They get shot at by the Hamas terrorists, and she just tries to go faster to escape. Can you imagine being in a situation you're actually surrounded by actual terrorists left and right, shooting at you, a regular person, and you're just trying to escape in a vehicle? We actually talked to a survivor a few days ago. I have it on a recording, which I still need to edit and
Yeah, what the heck is
publish.
wrong with you?
Yeah, I still need to publish that. But yeah, lots of people experience that.
Yeah, these dudes, man, if I lived anywhere around there, I'd be in the market for a bulletproof car. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
You could actually buy a bulletproof car that looks like a regular car.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah.
עד שערו לנו בגלגלים, והאוטו סטה ימינה ונעצר. עבר טנדר כזה, עם מלא מחבלים חמאסניקים. אחד החמאסניקים מסתכל עליי, וירה לי ביד. היד פשוט יצא לי מהמקום.
Ooh, so
What?
they shoot the tires, the car stops. Hamas guys come in a pickup truck. The terrorist looks at her and shoots her in the arm. So yeah, it's not even. It's not even like in crossfire or in an attempt to stop her or anything. Just he sees her and shoots her in the arm.
Well, she means it got totally detached. What? Her arm? Doesn't look totally detached.
היד פשוט יצא לי מהמקום.
And
I
spelled-
don't know what
means.
I don't know what she means by that. It's I kind of think she might mean that she couldn't feel it anymore or something like that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, she could mean that. That's one. But when I was trying to make sense of it, because it obviously doesn't make sense that her arm got totally detached, I'm thinking maybe she means the bullet went all the way through and so didn't get stuck in there. I don't know.
Or maybe she means dislocated. I don't know.
That's true. Dislocated. Yeah. So we got a couple possibilities here.
איבדתי מלא דם. הרמתי אותה מהרצפה, החזקתי אותה.
Whoa.
והמשכתי, כאילו, נשארתי על הרצפה.
What the heck? She said she picked up her arm from the floor?
I know we have Hebrew speakers, lots of them here in the chat. Lost.
People are saying dislocated, but there she said picked up my. A bunch of people are saying dislocated.
So what I'm gathering is that it was like on the ground, it wasn't functioning because I didn't. I mean, as far as I'm aware, it wasn't blown off, right?
Yeah, doesn't look like it. I mean, it's possible. I would doubt that they actually reattached a severed arm. So yeah, probably dislocated. And as far as her, maybe like she's on the ground and her arm is just dangling and useless or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
יריות ורכבים סוטים ימינה, שמאלה, כאילו חריקות של הרכבים, צרחות של נשים, של גברים. חיכיתי שיסתיים הטבח. פתאום היה שקט. ראיתי שמגיע מחבל, רואה את אליה, מגיע אליו עם נשק, אומר לו קום, קושר לו את הידיים, ולוקח אותו. הם עשו שם וידואי הריגה. כאילו מי שהיה נראה חי, היו דופקים לו כדור בראש.
אז העמדת פני מתה.
כן.
Okay, this is a scene where they're just trying to kill everyone and checking who's still alive and then killing them. This is an interesting thing. When we looked at the interrogation footages, right, from Hamas, you could hear them say different things. Some of them would say, we just made sure to kill whoever was there. We killed whoever we encountered. Whoever was alive, we made sure to shoot them and kill them. And you can also see that on footage. And with others, they said, we killed the men and kidnapped the others, or we just tried to kidnap as many people as possible. I'm not entirely sure how they planned it, if these Hamas terrorists had a specific plan on exactly who to kill and who to kidnap, or where to kill people and where to kidnap them. But it looks like different terrorists just did different things on their own accord, because there's not much organization in their terrorist cell. I don't know, but in the end, she survived, right? And she was taken back as a captive. So not sure how that happened.
רואה את אליה, מגיע אליו עם נשק, אומר לו קום, קושר לו את הידיים, ולוקח אותו. הם עשו שם וידואי הריגה. כאילו מי שהיה נראה חי, היו דופקים לו כדור בראש.
אז העמדת פני מתה.
כן. האוטו של אליה התפוצץ, נשרף. קלטתי שהאש מתחילה לסגור עליי.
Oh, that sucks. She's playing dead, but the fire is spreading.
Yeah.
So you can't just sit there and play dead. Dang.
Yeah.
כאילו, כל האזור נשרף. חיפשתי פרצה אם יש לי לאן ללכת, אבל לא היה לי. פתאום ראיתי על הכביש איזה בחור מטייל לו בין הרכבים השרופים. צעקתי לו, הצילו, ואז הוא אמר לי, תעלי. מחבל. לא יודעת.
Oh, jeez. She sees a guy, says help. He says come, and it turns out it's a terrorist. Huh. Also, lots of the terrorists that were there didn't actually have any uniform on. They just had regular clothes on.
חשבתי שזה ישראלי. קיוויתי שזה ישראלי. ואז הוא אמר לי, תעלי. זו הייתה החלטה של רגע כזה, אם להישאר, להצטרף פה למוות, או ללכת איתו. ואני אומרת לעצמי בראש טוב, אני לא רוצה למות. רוצה לחיות. אז הלכתי איתו. אני מגיעה, מחזיקה את היד.
Yeah, not knowing who's who. That sucks, but it reminded me of Anders Breivik. So Breivik, he actually spent a while making a perfect replica of a police counterterrorism uniform. And then he goes to that island with all those teenagers at the camp, and he starts gunning them down, but he's dressed like a police officer. So they realize someone's attacking them, but he's showing up to these various places on the island where they're hiding, and he's dressed like a police officer saying, it's okay to come out now. They come out and he guns those guys down. And then he goes off to the next place. Anyway. Yeah, it kind of sucks when you don't know who's who.
Yeah. That's really messed up. Ari Wasserman gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much. Very, very nice of you. Very kind of you. This is how we will grow and take over the world.
התחיל לגעת בי.
Oh, well. So she doesn't want to burn to death. She eventually decides to go to the terrorist to stay alive, because that's what you do. Maybe there is hope. Maybe I will get out of this somehow. And then
מחזיקה את היד. התחיל לגעת בי.
he starts touching me.
נגע לי בחלק העליון של הגוף. התחלתי לצרוח כשאני משתגע כזה, את יודעת. קלט את הסיטואציה עם היד, הוא קלט שהיא מנותקת מהגוף, כנראה הוא נבהל, עצר לי שנייה, קרא כאילו מרחוק לרכב ש...
So she goes to the guy, to the terrorist, and the terrorist just starts groping her sexually, touching her, and then he notices her arm, and then he looks out. He calls out to a car in the distance to come and take. You went through that whole thing, right? You went through that New York Times report on your live stream several days ago.
Yeah, I know. I know. I was there.
Where they, I know I'm asking you, where they went through.
Oh, okay. No, I thought you were telling me what I did a couple days ago, like I forgot or something.
Where they report how many of these victims were sexually abused and raped by Hamas and all that. And lots of them were not just taken to a certain place and then kept there and raped. Many of them were just raped on the spot and then killed, or sexually abused on the spot and then killed at the music festival, or in other places. There's one very notorious, very messed up footage of one woman who was just in the middle of the road. Her clothes were taken off. She was raped, and then she was killed and burnt right there.
Yeah, I was. We went through the entire article, and I was actually thinking about it later because I was like, because one of the victims who was dead had dozens of nails hammered into her pelvic area and thighs and so on. And I was thinking, gosh, that would take some time. And I realized afterwards that no, they were probably using a nail gun for that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a nail gun, you just push on something and shoots a nail in. But I mean, gosh, that would mean these guys are raping a woman while shooting her with a nail gun in her pelvic area. That's pretty nuts.
Because
but why can't you just tear down the fence and let those and everyone be one big happy family, man?
Yeah,
that's what we hear.
Ari Osman said, Allah gave you COVID and now you're stuttering.
He's got a point. You are stuttering.
I am. That is the thing. Like, people have done that forever as a way of punishing or taking out their anger. They've weaponized rape and sexual dominance and sexual abuse as a form of, I don't know, whatever it is. And here in this case, it's very clear that for Hamas, or for people in Gaza with that mindset, and we have seen them on camera and in chats and all that, for them it is just a way of expressing how much they hate Israelis, or how much they hate Jews, and how much they think they can do. They could do whatever they want to inflict as much humiliation and pain and suffering, while also getting a pleasure out of it to Jews and Israelis as they wish. So going there and then torturing these women and even men, and raping them, hurting them at the same time, then killing them, setting them on fire, that to them is completely normal. That to them is victory. To them, that is amazing. That is a right. To them, that means resistance. That means justice. That's how wicked, how messed up things are, because of the brainwashing of these people who really believe that they are somehow in such a poor situation, which, by the way, historically they themselves got into, that they absolutely have to break their chains and pour into Israel and torture and rape women there. That's how messed up they are.
הגיע, אסף אותי, משך אותי אחד המחבלים מהרכב, מבחוץ לרכב מהשיער, הוריד לי את הראש כל הנסיעה. והגעתי לעזה.
מה עובר עלייך בזמן הנסיעה?
מחוסרת הכרה, חצי מחוסרת הכרה. כאילו אני ערה, אבל אני לא מבינה מה קורה, כאילו. אני רק אמרתי לעצמי שאני לא רוצה למות. ושישמור עליי אלוהים. כשהגענו לעזה ברכב, אז אמרו לי, Welcome to Gaza. אבל לקח לי זמן להבין שאני בעזה, ואני חטופה, ואני בשבי של החמאס. לקח לי זמן. זרקו אותי באיזה חדר חשוך, מתחו לי את היד.
I feel like it's impossible for the average person to understand how surreal, how messed up that is, where you are actually kidnapped by these terrorists, brought to Gaza, and they tell you, welcome to Gaza. And you are now there, not knowing what in the world is going to happen to you. Man.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
You know, a minute ago you were talking about the mentality of these guys
Uh-huh.
and how screwed up they are. But it reminded me of prison. There was this dude once. He actually stopped a rape. An inmate was going to rape a counselor, so he was going into the room with a counselor. And there's a big open room that's between two, I don't know what to call them, dorms or something like that. But there's a big open room that you can't goof off in, but the office is off of that. Anyway, this dude is he's about to rape a counselor. Well, he's in the process of like pulling her clothes off. He's got her pinned on the ground. Another inmate walks back there, sees what's happening. He runs and tells the guard. That inmate lived a really miserable life not the rapist. That the inmate who ran and told the guards lived a really miserable life in prison after that because he snitched. But that's that's when your group hates another group, that's how you can get. I mean, keep in mind this guy was in trouble. Keep in mind, inmates generally do not approve of rape. That's one of the bad things that you could be known for in prison if you're a rapist or something like that. But they hate the guards and anyone that has anything to do with the administration so much that that you'd be in trouble for stopping a rape. So yeah. So anyway, apparently you have tons and tons of Hamas jihadis who just think it's a really good thing to do.
Man. Farfur said, typical nihilistic, we all become worm food atheists. What do you expect from someone whose moral code allows for people to urinate upon one another?
Mm-hmm. They do that.
Exactly.
Urinate upon one another. That's what they do.
That's what they do. The atheists. Golden showers.
Man.
הזאת. קשרו לי אותה על איזה פלסטיק, וככה הייתי 3 ימים. הייתי בטוחה.
Wait. How did she spend? What did she do to her arm?
את היד, הכו אותי באיזה חדר.
So they dumped her in a dark room,
מתחו לי את היד,
stretched out her wounded arm,
קשרו לי אותה על איזה פלסטיק,
tied a piece of plastic to it.
וככה הייתי 3 ימים. הייתי בטוחה.
And that's how she remained for 3 days. Wow.
She thought they're going to have to chop it off. So the arm definitely wasn't completely severed. It was just messed up.
אפשר לבקש ממך, אבל לא בטיפול, מה את אומרת?
אפשר. כן.
עשתה את זה עם שמאל, אני לא ראיתי אותך עושה את זה ביד ימין.
רוצה לראות?
אם תעשי את זה ביד ימין, אני מרשה לך.
Good, I see her moving it. Looks like it's not moving well, but
Yeah.
וואו.
looks like it still hurts too.
וואו, איזה חריקות. מה שהרגשתי שם, מרוב שזה כאב שהבן אדם לא יכול להכיל אותו. הייתי מאולפת רוב הזמן.
היית מאולפת?
כן. הייתי חסרת, מחוסרת הכרה.
Yeah, that would be bad too. She's talking about how bad the pain was. Like while stuff is happening, you'd be filled with adrenaline, and that would numb the pain quite a bit. But once that starts wearing off, man, that is gonna. Especially, she said for 3 days she's left like that.
Mm-hmm. Without painkillers, without anything, she's there for 3 days with just something wrapped around her arm. Intense pain, so she's just passing out, not very conscious for those 3 days. That's man.
אפילו אקמול שם, כלום.
ואז לאן לוקחים אותך?
מהחדר הזה לבית שבו החזיקו אותי. בית של אחד המחבלים שהייתי ברכב. סגורה, בחדר, חשוך, אסור לדבר, אסור שיראו אותך, שישמעו אותך.
This is the thing. According to her statement, which also makes sense because it very much confirms statements by other hostages. She was taken to a regular home, to the home of the terrorist who captured her. We also have reports of people who were just or of kids who were put into random civilian homes. But this is the thing, right? They keep these hostages not in a safe location, or in certain designated places. They use their homes for these operations to keep their hostages to fight from, and so on. And she basically lived there in that home with the family.
מחביאים אותך. יש מחבל שמסתכל עלייך 24/7. מסתכל, אונס אותך עם העיניים.
ככה הרגשת?
ברור. 24/7. מסתכל, אונס אותך עם העיניים.
ככה הרגשת?
With a terrorist watching me 24/7, raping me with his eyes. When I was on Twitter several days ago, I saw some Muslims deny that she was mistreated and say things like, "Oh, and look at this! Now she's making up stories, and she's talking about how she only escaped rape because of this and this." And somebody then actually mentioned, "Oh, and by the way, look at this. She says she was raped. That the guy raped her with his eyes, whatever that means." And then they laughed. It's like a bunch of likes, and I'm thinking, like, have you guys never heard of this? And my other thought was, those people should know very well what she means, because men raping women with their eyes left and right everywhere is quite common in the Muslim world. So not sure why that is such a big surprise.
Yeah, and by the way, those are the things. If you're wondering when someone is telling the truth and when someone is lying, those are the things that you're looking for, right? You're looking for a little thing. You're looking for things like that because. So the claim is, when she was in Hamas captivity and they pointed a camera in her face, she said, they're treating me really well. And they say, okay, we'll take that seriously. And then afterwards she's saying, no, it actually really, really sucked. They say, she's lying now. The IDF got to her and so on. When she says the guy is staring at me, raped me with his eyes and so on. If they really, really wanted to make stuff up, they would tell her to make up the fact that she was just being gang raped the entire time. That's what you'd tell someone to make up. And if she was making stuff up in order to show how horrible these guys were, that's what she would say. You wouldn't say, hey, they kept me in a room and it really sucked and the food was kind of bad and I didn't know when I was getting fed all the time, and this guy's sitting there staring at me, checking me out up and down, looking at me like he wants to do something to me. You wouldn't say that. So you'd say something more extreme. So yeah,
are there really some guys in the chat who are acting like a bunch of red-pilled incels who are not understanding what is being said here with eye raping? Nobody here is arguing. She even says she wasn't raped. She probably got away because there was no circumstance which allowed her to be raped. She specifically uses something here which is metaphorical, which is eye raping, and nobody here is claiming that is actually rape or that she was raped. What that refers to is that when and I know that a lot of guys will act like, oh, this is so stupid, how can that even be called rape? There is no such thing. Stop being so pathetic. And all the women understand exactly what we are talking about when we say eye rape. But what is meant, and I know this very well because I lived, after living in Germany, in Turkey, where this is very common. What this is when a woman is directly targeted and constantly harassed by a man in an incredibly sexually intrusive and hostile and threatening way. And if you like to learn about it so much, maybe you can look up a video of what it looks like. But where, for example, in this situation, the man stands there and is just looking at her the whole time in suggestive, hostile, disgusting ways at her body, and making all kinds of suggestions with the eyes and making her feel really, really disgusted by that. That is what is meant with eye raping or raping with the eyes. That's what is being meant here. It's a very, and if you put yourself in the position of that woman, you might imagine that it is incredibly uncomfortable, incredibly dehumanizing, incredibly disgusting, incredibly hostile, and whatever it is, because it gives off the feeling that this guy constantly just wants to sexually abuse you, and that's exactly the point here. Anyway,
מבט רע כזה יש פחד להניס. זה היה הפחד הכי גדול שלי שם. אשתו הייתה מחוץ לחדר עם הילדים. זאת הייתה הסיבה.
There's Momo here in the chat said Hamas couldn't stand how ugly she is. They give her up for nothing. First off, you must be completely retarded if you think that she's ugly. Secondly, I would say that I don't want to say what I just have in my mind. I'll just kick you here.
Yeah, this the COVID talking, man. It's the COVID talking. All those thoughts in your head, that's the COVID talking.
אשתו הייתה מחוץ לחדר עם הילדים. זאת הייתה הסיבה היחידה שהוא לא אנס.
By the way, that's interesting. So she says the reason he didn't rape her is that she was in his house with his family and his wife is there. So that's all entirely possible. But the other possibility is, I don't know what Hamas's rules for hostages are, because you have other situations where, like kidnappers in lots of places in South America, they believe you're not supposed to harm people because it's they're thinking long term for future engagements. You want people to know for their negotiations and stuff. You want people to know, hey, we will give you back the person safely if you meet our demands. So in other words, kidnappers in places in South America is actually considered bad if you have to hurt the person, because you want people to, because it's always in someone's mind. Okay, what if I give you this $1 million and you don't hand the person back safely, or what if you're, how do I know? You want them to know from past encounters that no, as long as you meet our demands, we will hand back the person safe and unharmed. And we're only really going to harm the person if you don't meet our demands. And so it's also possible that they have rules, that Hamas has rules about this as far as hostages that they're going to negotiate with, not people that they're just killing and slaughtering and stuff like that. But it's possible that they actually want people to know because they want their people back too. They want their people to be handed over to them for the negotiations and stuff. So it's also possible that they have rules. Hey, if we have someone that we're going to treat as a captive, not just a captive that we're going to keep and rape and kill or something like that, but someone that we're going to use as a negotiation chip, we have rules about how that person is to be treated. So I don't know which it is in this case.
Yeah. By the way, for Momo here, I guess he has a different taste. I would suggest this one. This would be probably a very interesting image. This is a goat woman.
Momo's in love.
I hope he enjoys this. Momo, this is for you.
Momo, yeah. Take that picture down, because Momo's gonna run and have to whack off or something. He sees that goat face. What?
יש פחד להניס. זה היה הפחד הכי גדול שלי שם. אשתו הייתה מחוץ לחדר עם הילדים. זאת הייתה הסיבה היחידה שהוא לא אנס.
Yeah.
אחרי 3 ימים שהיד שלי קשורה לפלסטיק, הוא בא אליי, המחבל הזה, שמר עליי, מלביש אותי, אומר לי, קומי, מלביש אותי בתת חיג'אב, נקאב, ולוקחים אותי לבית חולים, מכניסים אותי לחדר ניתוח. את לא מבינה מה קורה, את לא מבינה כלום. הרדימו אותי, פתאום אני מתעוררת אחרי הניתוח, אני קולטת יד חבושה עם ברזלים, וכזה פתח פה ברגל. כנראה עסיסים. יום אחרי הניתוח, צילמו את הסרטון. אני מי השם.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, it was the day after that they recorded this?
Yeah. So I guess they take her and get her arm fixed, and then they shoot a video of her. They of course specifically choose who they want to shoot a video of and publish, and make sure that they treat her arm before they do that. That's why they do it. Otherwise, why would they care?
כרגע אני נמצאת בעזה. אמרו לי להגיד איך קוראים לי, את השם של אבא שלי, שנפצעתי ביד, ושדואגים ומטפלים בי. דואגים לי, מטפלים בי, נותנים לי תרופות, הכל בסדר. את עושה מה שאומרים לך. מפחדת למות.
This is so the way she explains what happened there, they operated on her arm, then she's taken to they shoot a video of her, tell her to say specific things. My arm was injured. They're giving me medication. They're taking care of me, and so on. All of this is quite clear, but even at that point, when that video was published, you had people saying, look, one of the hostages, we have a video of her, and she looks all right. She says she's being taken care of. You see, this is the beauty of Hamas resistance fighters. They would never mistreat the captives, and so on. These are the amounts of disgusting propaganda that these people actually fall for and spread. Puccini gifted 20 more memberships. I think this is Puccini gifted 60 memberships in total today, as far as I can see here. Is that right? That's pretty interesting. Pretty nice. Or maybe it's just 40, or it's 60. I don't know. Pretty nice. Pretty cool. Pretty much appreciated. Very, very nice.
המשפחה שלך בבית שתצפה בזה? חברים שלך?
כן. וזאת הסיבה שאמרתי שם על איזה חוזק ולא בכיתי שם, למרות שהייתי חנוכה. אבל ידעתי שאמא שלי הולכת לראות את הסרטון. אני רק מבקשת שיחזירו אותי הביתה כמה שיותר מהר, למשפחה שלי, להורים שלי, לאחים שלי. ומתה לבכות ולהתפרק, כאילו פאקינג בשבי של החמאס עושה סרטון. אסור לך לבכות. כאילו, אם את בוכה, מאיימים לשלוח אותך למנהרות.
אז את מתאפקת לא לבכות? כי אסור לך לבכות?
זו שאת מתאפקת, את מכניסה לעצמך לראש, אל תשכחי שאת חטופה, את בשבי של החמאס, וזה האויבים שלך, ותשארי חזקה. עד עכשיו אני בסוג של מנגנון כזה של הישרדות, אז קשה לי מאוד להוציא רגשות.
She was there for 2 months. She was Hamas captive for 2 months. Had to really adjust to those circumstances of not showing her emotions, staying strong, doing whatever she's told. It's probably hard to get out of that mood right now, still, as she says. But I read that she said she was threatened with being sent to the tunnels if she misbehaves. I'm not sure if she will go further into that again. She just mentioned that very briefly here. Let's see.
מיה מודעת לעובדה שחמאס משתמש בסרטון הזה לצורכי תעמולה, ומבינה שמצבה לא מעניין באמת את מי שמטפל בה.
ברגע שהוא קיבע את המצלמה, פשוט יצא מהחדר, סגר את הדלת, כאילו אותו רופא שחובש לי את היד, וזהו. היה לי ציוד רפואי, קצת מים סטרילים, תחבושות. אני החלפתי לעצמי כל השבי תחבושות.
Okay.
לעצמי את הפצעים.
You catch all that?
Yeah.
So the doctor originally fixed her, I mean, sort of operated on her arm and the shrapnel that was in her leg or whatever, and then left her with gauze and stuff, except when they're filming this video saying that she's getting good medical treatment. Then he comes in, they record a video of her, I mean, of him changing the gauze and stuff, and she says after that he left and I had to do stuff on my own.
Yeah, so they just did it for the camera, just for propaganda reasons. The rest of the time she had to do all of those things herself. And the guy was, by the way, a veterinarian. He wasn't even a doctor trained for that.
Well, he's a veterinarian because he's probably the guy who does the goat births of
Oh yeah, that makes sense. He probably takes care of all the goats that belong to the Hamas terrorists, the goat wives.
תרפיה. מצאתי לעצמי את היד. אמרו לי.
אמרו לך?
היד כזאת נפוחה. לבנה וקרה כזאת. את יודעת, התחלתי לשחק איתה, להזרים את הדם. אני לא איזה רופאה, לא למדתי את זה, אין לי מושג. אבל ההיגיון אומר לך, כאילו, את יודעת.
זה לא מובן מאליו, כי את מבינה
That's the thing. She needs to take care of her own thing. Just act like she's the doctor. She's her own doctor.
שזה לא כל אחד היה מתפקד ככה, אני חושבת. ועוד כשיש כאבי תופת.
אני רציתי את היד שלי. דרך אגב, שבוע אחרי ראיתי את אמא שלי במסיבת עיתונאים. כאילו, הטלוויזיה בבית, וזה שידורים שחוזרים על עצמם כל הזמן באל-ג'זירה.
There you have it. Hamas watches Al Jazeera.
Yeah. It's very obvious. There is a thing, right? They were probably watching Arabic Al Jazeera. Arabic Al Jazeera is very different from English Al Jazeera. The English language Al Jazeera is specifically in content and direction altered in such a way that it appeals to the global audiences, and that it's a little bit less biased, less biased the way it is right now. But the Arabic speaking, Al Jazeera in the Arabic language is incredibly terrible. It's like in the English language report about the very same thing, they will say, it is reported that the Israeli Defense Forces have captured this and this and that. Meanwhile, the Arabic report by Al Jazeera will say, the Zionist occupiers shamelessly captured the brave Hamas fighter here and stuff like that. So the Arabic Al Jazeera very clearly shows who they are working for and who they are for. So it's quite clear that these terrorists will be watching Al Jazeera. That is their channel. That is who they love.
בל אמר לי, כאילו, בואי תראי, בשביל להכאיב לי, בואי תראי את אמא שלך כדי להכאיב לי, כאילו, לא בשביל בואי תראי איך היא מדברת בכתבה.
כל מה שאני מבקשת ממנהיגי העולם זה להחזיר את התינוקת שלי הביתה, בדיוק באותו מצב שראיתי אותה אתמול בטלוויזיה.
אני באה, אני רואה את אמא שלי 6 שניות בטלוויזיה, אבל הספיק לי לראות את המבט שלה בעיניים ואת החוזק שלה. כאילו, וזהו. זה נתן לי הרבה כוחות. ראיתי את אמא שלי חזקה, אמרתי מי אני שאני אשבר, כאילו. הכל טוב.
This is quite good, quite admirable, quite noble. She did make it through in the best way, and it's good that she now comes out and shares everything. There are still a lot of the other survivors, lots of others that were released, don't want to speak about it because they don't know how to handle it, or for other reasons. I wonder how long it will take for everyone to just come out and tell us everything they experienced. But it's
Well,
good
some of
that
the
she does it at least.
yeah, some of the other reasons are these people. Once you become like a public face,
Mhm.
you know you're going to be harassed for the rest of your life by all the other wannabe jihadis all around the world.
Yeah, that's true.
והיא לא נשברת, למרות התנאים הבלתי נסבלים בחדר הילדים, בבית, שבו הוחזקה.
לא מדברת. ואם אני מדברת, אני לוחשת.
למה?
כי יש מזל"ט. הם קוראים לזה זיננה. ואסור שישמעו אותך, אסור שיראו אותך. אין אור יום.
אין לך חלונות.
לא, אין תחושת זמן.
את מצליחה לישון?
לא. לא ישנתי כל 54 ימים האלה. לא ישעה.
באמת?
בלילה. איך אפשר לישון שמסתכל עליך מחבל? בוחן אותך.
That's messed up, man. Yeah, I mean, the IDF is probably. I mean, it's known how meticulous they can be with searching and tracking locations and people. But they want to make sure that there is no sign, that nobody sees her, that the IDF doesn't learn about her location at all. So she's kept in a dark place for 2 months, not allowed to speak much, not allowed to move around much. It's I don't know. Somebody asked about my debate. Grey Jedi said AP going up against Kikaju on Modern Day Debate tomorrow, I think. It's supposed to be on Thursday, but we actually rescheduled it. It is going to take place on the 16th in 2 weeks. I specifically wanted to reschedule it because I'm sick. I'm still recovering. I didn't really have time to prepare, and I want to prepare better for that stuff. So I said, "Hey, let's move it to the 16th," and we agreed to that. I will update everyone on that in a bit.
מבחינת הטיפול, צרכים בסיסיים עכשיו, אמא שלך איתך, כל הזמן מטפלת בך, דואגת לך, מקלחת אותך, איך את מסתדרת שם?
קודם כל, לא התקלחתי. כל
Dang. 2 months?
She didn't shower in 2 months.
55 ימים.
לא. לא קיבלתי תרופה.
So just like every Hamas member. Oh God. They also never
They
shower.
They had her living like Hamas, man.
Yeah, that's terrible.
תרופות, משככי כאבים.
את אוכלת? שם?
לפעמים.
מה זה אומר?
אשתו שנאה את העובדה שאני והוא באותו חדר. היא שנאה את זה. אז היא הייתה משחקת איתי. פעם...
His wife hated the fact that he shared the room with her. She was really, really upset about that, which is understandable because his wife is probably a goat, and
Yeah.
she's a human, and there is obviously, like, for Hamas to be staying with a human as opposed to a goat, what they usually do.
Yeah, goat wives get jealous of humans.
Understandable.
כאילו, את יודעת, היא הייתה מביאה לנו ארוחות. הייתה מביאה לו, ולי לא הייתה מביאה. כשהייתה נכנסת לחדר, בא לך איזה חיבוק כזה, מאישה לאישה כזה, חיבוק של להתפרק, כאילו, זה מה שיש לך שם. והייתה כל כך רעה, כאילו, היה לה עיניים כל כך רעות, והייתה כזאת שרה, שפשוט הייתי בולעת את הסיטואציה, אומרת לעצמי, זה מה יש, תתמודדי, תכף את חוזרת. יום, יומיים, 3 ימים, לא הייתי אוכלת. אתה משחקת איתי, אתה מדברת עליי, איתו, את יודעת, כל מיני אמירות כאלה של השיער שלה לא אמיתי, אז יש לה, את יודעת, בערבית.
והבנת את זה?
כן.
You also have to take into consideration that the population in Gaza really hates Jews and hates Israelis. And yeah, so somebody can deny that, and we all know it's true. Especially if it's a Hamas member and a Hamas family, that's going to be a given. So there is no amount of compassion, no amount of kindness or friendship to be found there.
נוצרה לך איזה מערכת יחסים עם החוטף?
כן. פחדתי להיאנס, מאוד. זה הפחד הכי גדול שלי. פחדתי שיקרה איזה משהו פתאום. אז את יודעת, התחברתי אליו בקטע חברי. התחיל באיזשהו שלב לדבר איתי על הבעיות שלו עם אשתו.
כמו מה למשל הוא אמר לך?
שהוא לא אוהב אותה.
She started getting close to the guy, to the captor, because she was afraid of getting raped. Common strategy, common thing that captives do. And one of the things that he told her was that he doesn't love his wife. Now, why would a man say that to another woman?
Yeah, generally when a guy is telling a woman, "Oh, I don't really love my woman, I don't love my wife," it's because he wants to bang this other chick. Pretty much standard.
Yeah. And why would a man who has a goat as a wife tell a human woman, "I don't really like my wife"?
Mm-hmm.
Quite obvious, because he wants to finally have sex with a human.
But he never got to. It was back to the goat for him.
Has to hump the goat again. Typical Hamas.
לא אוהב אותה.
הילדים היו איתך, נכנסו לחדר, יצאו מהחדר.
פגשתי את הילדים שלו, כאילו, אתם לא נכנסים
Met his children.
לחדר, להסתכל עליי, כאילו אני זה חיה, שמלטפים אותה.
Daddy, can I see the hostage again?
הילד שלו נכנס לחדר, עם שקית ממתקים, מביא לאבא כזה, פותח את השקית וזה, בא לידי, פותח את השקית,
Dang.
לא אותה,
Savage.
כאילו, אתה יודע, רוע טהור. אין שם אזרחים תמימים. זה משפחות תחת החמאס.
There you go.
זה ילדים שמהרגע שהם יוצאים לאוויר העולם, מחנכים אותם שישראל זה פלסטין, פשוט לשנוא את היהודים.
Wow, okay. I think this is one of the most important things here to take away. Lots of people who know about this, who know about the conflict here, who know about the politics at play, who know about how these children are raised and so on, know this and often say this, but this is very important. So the child comes in, the child comes with a bag of candy, gives some to the father, then goes to her, opens it, and then just leaves. And she says, this is just how it is. There are no innocent civilians. They are all raised under Hamas. All they learn is to simply say Israel is Palestine and they hate the Jews. That's how it is.
רוע טהור. אין שם אזרחים תמימים. זה משפחות תחת החמאס. זה ילדים שמהרגע שהם יוצאים לאוויר העולם, מחנכים אותם שישראל זה פלסטין, פשוט לשנוא את היהודים.
And how do you handle such a
that's
situation?
important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important to know for all the people who are who say things like, "Oh, you know, when you ask the people shouting from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free." There are people who know what that means, and there are a bunch of morons who have no clue what it means. But if you ask the morons who have no clue what it means, what do you mean? They'll say things like, they should just all live together. Like those who aren't actually calling for genocide against Jews, they just have no clue what the slogan means. They're saying, hey, you know, everyone could just live together there. And then you say, well, what about all the, you know, Hamas? You look at how they treated the women when they did their terrorist attack, torturing and raping them. How do you what's your proposal for thinking that Hamas is going to get along peacefully with a bunch of Jews? And then they might think, oh, well, as long as you get rid of the Hamas jihadi, then everyone else can live together in peace and harmony. And so she's pointing out, okay, you've got what she said was there are no innocent civilians there. And there are civilians, there are people who aren't soldiers, but she's saying, no, I don't trust those guys either. Because they really hate us too. So yeah, for the people who say, yeah, let's live together in one big happy state. Not sure how that's going to work.
Yeah. Plus, the very same people who are in charge openly and proudly tell their people things like these, and everyone is okay with that. Here's Hamas. I showed this before. Hamas, Al-Aqsa TV director, who is indoctrinating the youth, speaking to the public every now and then in Gaza, motivating them. Fatih Hamad. Here's what he said in 2018.
في هذا اليوم وفي هذه التجليات بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى لنتطلع إلى أمرين مهمين نحن قاب قوسين أو أدنى منهما. أولا هو تنظيف فلسطين من دنس اليهود واستئصالهم بإذن الله.
So, two things to look forward to. The first is the cleansing of Palestine, of the filth of the Jews, and their uprooting from it with the permission of Allah. That's what he says. That's what he says. 4 years, my brothers, by 2022, we will be rid of them. That's what he says. And this is just, this is only one of those instances. There are other videos where he says we must kill the Jews, we must get rid of them, buy a knife, find the Jew, cut his throat, kill him. We have to fight them all. There are other Hamas operatives, directors, preachers who have repeatedly said again, it is our mission to destroy, to kill the Jews, to eradicate them. There is no other way. All of it from the river to the sea, Palestine must be free, and so on. This is Hamas. This is their true face. This is who we are talking about and dealing with. And the general population here is not very different in the way they think. And they support Hamas. Hamas is still the most popular party out of all those in existence here. Sorry, people don't want to hear it, but this is the common sentiment in Gaza and a common sentiment in Palestinian territories, which is why I don't really feel too bad about Israel going full force and going for the destruction of these political entities to subdue them and to bring order in a way that actually works. Because with these Palestinian leaders, it obviously will not work, because these Palestinian leaders are for genocide, are for hate, and they indoctrinate the people to hate and to wish for genocide. This is the problem.
I bet if you were to ask these Hamas dudes, hey, what's up with your prediction that you would destroy them by 2022? They'd be like, but COVID slowed us down. Well, it's still coming, but yeah, we got slowed down by COVID.
Yeah, COVID
threw off our schedule a little bit.
Yeah. All the economies in the world suffered a little bit because of COVID, and yeah, ours is just the same. Yeah.
מיה סגורה בחדר, בחוץ מלחמה. שבועיים לפני הפסקת האש, צהל תוקף בעוצמה, גם בשכונה שבה היא מוחזקת.
פשוט הפציצו את כל האזור שהייתי בו.
Some idiot said, showing old videos. That was 2018. Plus, what does it matter if it was published today or 5 years ago? When a Hamas leader who is still there says, we will get rid of the Jews. Jeez.
כאילו חלונות של הבית שהייתי בו נשברו עליי, הבית עף, כאילו עפתי מהעדף, לא שמעתי את זה 3 ימים. אבל הבית נשאר עומד. אני יושבת, אומרת, שמע ישראל, אם לא מתתי בשביעי, אני לא מתה. שמחתי על הצבא.
חשבת שאולי יבואו לחלץ אותך?
You see, she said she trusted the IDF. You see, this is propaganda.
חשבת שאולי יבואו לחלץ אותך?
קיוויתי. היה לו חלון בחדר בשירותים, בחדר איפה שהייתי. וידעתי שהסרטון שלי התפרסם. ידעתי. ורואים בסרטון את הקעקועים על האצבעות, ואת הקעקוע ביד. עכשיו, הרי אסור לך לדבר, אסור שישמעו אותך, אבל היה כזה חלון של שלבים בשירותים שבחדר, הייתי כל פעם שהייתי נכנסת, הייתי מוציאה את היד, כאילו, ומקווה שרואים אותי, שרואים את זה, שמזהים אותי. כאילו, בטוחה.
מוציאה את האצבעות מהחלון, ככה?
כן. ניסיתי לעשות כל מיני... ניסיתי להציל את עצמי. הייתי מדברת לעצמי בעברית, אמרתי, אולי שומעים אותי.
אולי יש האזנות.
Wow. I don't know.
Trying to send up smoke signals.
Yeah. You just put your hope somewhere and I don't know. Wow, man.
מה אמרת לעצמך?
אלוהים, בבקשה תוציא אותי מפה, אלוהים, בבקשה, תוציא אותי מפה. מי השם פה? יש לך תחביבים? אני אוהבת לקעקע, לבשל, כל מה שקשור בידיים.
צריכה את היד.
גם הצלחתי להרים את היד לבד.
יופי. פעם ראשונה?
לא, אני עובדת עליה.
עוד מה את יכולה?
אני בשלנית.
בשלנית?
בישלתי יום שישי מעצמו.
כן.
אסף חתך לי, אני בישלתי.
סירים על סירים.
זה קוקלות.
יואו.
זה טבחה כזאת. זה הריפוי בעיסוק שלי. כשהעבירו אותי מבית לבית בשבועיים האלה של ההפצצות, אז איזה פעם אחת עברנו לבית, והייתי עם 4 מחבלים לבד, את יודעת, כאילו, עם פנים מכוסות וקלצ'ניקובים, דרוכים כזה, ואני יושבת, מפוחדת.
She was kept in a house with 4 terrorists and just her, all with their faces covered with AKs. Oh.
שאלתי אותם אם רעבים. אמרו לי כן. שלחתי אחד מהם לשוק. אמרתי לו לקנות כמה מצרכים. ועשיתי להם שם טבחה. הם קראו לי אם סולטן. וגרמתי להם להסתכל עליי בעין שונה.
This is smart. This is good. This is what you're supposed to do.
Very, very, very smart. Very smart. But I can't help but thinking, these guys are lucky this woman did not have access to poison or something like that, or they'd have fallen for it just like their prophet did. Oh, the captive we got. Oh, her arm messed up. Oh, she's offering to cook us dinner. Yay. Yeah. Hey, what happened to that box of rat poison we had around here? Where'd that go? I don't know. Let's just keep eating. Tastes a little weird.
Yeah. But this is your best bet if you are kept as a hostage, to try to humanize yourself and try to make a connection to the captors, try to help them, try to make it, This is where the whole it's also of course dangerous because you could start falling into their trap and getting I don't know, thinking that that they are actually good to you and all that, but this is a good thing to do, and it worked.
לכבד אותי, את מבינה? מעריכים אישה שמבשלת, שמנקה. אז את יודעת, הם פרגנו.
מתי את מגיעה למנהרות?
ב5 ימים האחרונים שלי, 5-4 ימים האחרונים שלי, לפני שחזרתי לארץ. קודם כל, ברגע שהורידו אותי למנהרות, הבנתי שאני...
As far as I remember, there were some captives that were kept in the tunnels for most of their captivity, or who stayed in the tunnels pretty much the entire time. And she was lucky enough not to be one of those. So
Yeah, I have no idea what the details are, but if it were me, if it were a woman, especially an injured woman, or a child or a baby, I would probably think, okay, we could keep this person in a house because we can easily overpower that person if they try to make trouble. Whereas if it's a guy or even someone that looks like they could put up a good fight, you might want to go the tunnel route.
yeah, Clementine said some of them were kept in the tunnels the whole time. Yeah, that's messed up.
עכשיו לא יוצאת מפה. זה להיות 50, 60, אולי 70 מטר מתחת לאדמה. בלי אוויר. בלי אוכל. עם פצע פתוח. אם ככה את לא מקבלת טיפול רפואי. מפחיד. זה הרגע שבו אני והחוטף נפרדו דרכנו. הגעתי למקום אחר, למנהרה. שם זה כבר בכירים יותר מהחמאס.
פגשת במהלך הזמן שלך שם חטופים אחרים?
כן. לא יכולה לספר על זה יותר מדי.
Oh, okay. This is interesting. So, when she's brought to the tunnels here, she finally parts ways with the guy who captured her, and then there are a bunch of Hamas officials down there. She did meet hostages. She says she can't give any detail on that.
מהחמאס.
פגשת במהלך הזמן שלך שם חטופים אחרים?
Did you meet other hostages? Yes.
כן. לא יכולה לספר על זה יותר מדי.
I can go into detail about that.
פגשתי חטופים ב5 ימים האחרונים שלי במנהרות. 6 אנשים, 7 אנשים, בחדר 2.5 מטר ל2.5 מטר, אחד על השני.
What? There were 7 of us inside a 2.5 square meter room.
Dang.
Okay, yeah. Jeez.
בחדר 2.5 מטר ל2.5 מטר, אחד על השני, בכלוב, מקבלים פיתה ביום, בלי אוויר.
זה לא נתן לך תקווה אבל לפגוש חטופים אחרים? כי היית לבד עד עכשיו.
זה...
This is the thing. I mean, I guess she was lucky enough to have spent most of her captivity in a normal residential place with these Hamas terrorists, where others spent their entire time in a tunnel in a tiny little space where they had nothing. So I don't know, she's relatively lucky compared to the others, compared to some others. But so she says she can't go into detail on the hostages. I guess that is a security thing that she was told, probably by the government, and just for everyone's safety.
מצד אחד, את כאילו נושמת כזה לרווחה, כי את רואה עוד אנשים ישראלים, אבל מצד שני, זה הרבה יותר קשה להישאר שם אופטימי ולהכניס לעצמך מחשבות חיוביות לראש, כי שם חלק איבדו כבר תקווה.
ואת מנהלת איתם שיחות, מדברת איתם?
בטח. דיברנו. זה היה כמו לראות כאילו מישהו שאני מכירה. את יודעת, פתאום את נושמת, את רואה עוד ישראלים כאילו. אבל פתאום באו אליי, אמרו לך, וואלה, לא נצא מפה. ואת יודעת, כבר מאבדים תקווה. קשה מאוד לשמור שם על אופטימיות. אין, כאילו כל השבי חלמתי איך היא עושה לי מראה, כאילו מסתרקת לי לשיער באמבטיה, ומקלחת אותי, ואני יושבת איתה כזה, היה לי דמיונות מטורפים.
There are there are also captives that were killed in captivity. Some were, I guess, under different circumstances, they were killed probably because they were disobedient, probably because they fought, they tried to escape. Some because they were injured and Hamas didn't want to take care of them any longer. But lots of them lost hope and would say, we will never get out of here. And of course, we have idiots out here saying, no, they're treated like kings there. Hamas is taking good care of them because they're just amazing.
וכל מה שדמיינתי קרה. אני זימנתי את החזרה שלי הביתה.
ואז מתי אומרים לך שאת יוצאת?
5 דקות לפני. אמרה לי, יו, ישראל. עכשיו עשו לי את זה כל כך הרבה פעמים, את יודעת, כדי לשבור אותך נפשית, היו אומרים לי, you, tomorrow, ישראל. הייתי מחכה למחר, קמה בבוקר, מחכה כאילו שיקרה משהו. ואז הוא אמר לי, כמו גלעד שליט, שנה, שנתיים, 3.
Gilad Shalit was is an Israeli soldier who was taken captive, and I think he was kept for 4 years. He was taken hostage by Hamas. I don't know when was that, and he was kept for, was it 4 years? Was it even longer? I don't exactly remember. Hamas held him captive for over 5 years until his release on 18th of October 2011 as part of a prisoner exchange deal. Yeah, so he was taken hostage by Hamas in 2006 and was only given back in a hostage deal in 2011. He was kept there as a hostage for 5 years. David just died. Oh. I'm going to wait for David. I'm going to read some super chats here. Chloe L said, can you guys please explain to lefty Muslim convert Elisa here in the chat why she's made a big mistake? David would tell her she's worshipping a Peter devil. Probably left already, but yes, Muhammad was a pedophile. Arman Aldan said, it's no coincidence that Seljuks chose Islam over an already warlike Tengri religion. Cheers from a Kazakh ex-Muslim Christian. Tengri bizi korusun. Nice. You're a Kazakh ex-Muslim Christian. Interesting stuff. Spirit Sama said, did one of you two refute some Muslim guy that said kidnapping, killing children has nothing to do with Islam? I remember a video like that. I should look at that. I don't think we ever specifically talked about kidnapping. We did probably go into the whole, killing children, but because there is a hadith which says that the Muslims would go on night raids and would kill women and children during the night raids, and would then go to Muhammad and ask him about it, and Muhammad would say they are from them. So while there is a command not to target women and children in war, there is nothing wrong with, killing them in the middle of a war and then saying, well, they were of the opponent, we don't care. But the thing is, it's so, there is no clear-cut command that you shall not at any, under any circumstances, target and kill women and children, or you will, I don't know, be punished forever or anything like that, which is why Muslims have done that in history. Muslim armies have done that in history. Hamas has done that in front of everyone's eyes, and they are not being condemned for that. The Islamists are happy with them. They're happy. They are proud of them. They are proud of this Islamist army, of these Islamist terrorists who went into Israel and targeted and directly killed women and children and elderly and men and so on, and also raped them and mutilated them and burned them and so on. And CO said, it's the curse of Allah, you see. If you think you're suffering now, wait until your leather straps fail. Allah won't be pleased until you can't hold back a single grain of corn. And Chloe said, after this depressing video, we may need some cheering up with Farfour songs. May I recommend Hide Like a Rat or 72 Space Virgins? I will check it out. Okay, I might do that. I might do that. That's a good idea. Okay, David, are you back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
שנה, שנתיים, 3.
Danke,
שובר
danke.
אותך נפשית, מרסק אותך נפשית.
התעללות.
התעללות מטורפת.
אז איך שומרים על שפיות?
בוא נגיד שיצאתי בזמן. הייתי על סף... האמת שהייתי כבר בסוף של הכוחות שלי. לא האמנתי עד שלא העבירו אותי לרכב של צה"ל, שיצאתי מהגבול של עזה ונכנסתי לשטח ישראל. לא האמנתי.
People very good, very kind to me. כולו תמם.
דחפו לי מצלמה לפנים, שנייה לפני שמוסרים אותי לצלב האדום. אמרו לי, תגידי שהתייחסו אלייך יפה, שהאנשים בעזה נחמדים, טובים. עכשיו, מה אני אגיד? התחיל לקלל אותם?
Food good, then the
No, you guys suck.
Everything good.
Yeah, put yourself in a position. Even if you believe, okay, I'm being handed over now, I can just say whatever I want, or I can just refuse to do it. You will probably still think, yeah, I better comply. I'm getting out of here. I'm not giving up my chances.
Until you are all the way away from these guys, you're going to do whatever the heck they say.
Yeah.
And the only exception is if you know Morse code to blink with your eyes that you're lying.
Yeah. And it's very clear. I mean, this video was directly taken by Hamas and published by them. It first came out into the public on Hamas's own Telegram channel. That's where they published it. They took it and they published it. And people out there still want to take this footage here and claim that she's contradicting herself now. She just changed her mind now because when she came out of captivity, she said everything was good and they were nice to her. And these are all Hamas propagandists. These are all terrorist sympathizers, terrorist supporters, terrorist propagandists, Hamas propagandists. And they should be recognized as such, taken as such, and treated as such, because this is obvious terrorist propaganda that happened here. And everyone can already tell this. Everyone already knew this, but she tells it us here once again.
העבירו אותי לרכב של צה"ל, שיצאתי מהגבול של עזה ונכנסתי לשטח ישראל. לא האמנתי.
People very good, very kind to me. כולו תמם.
דחפו לי מצלמה לפנים, שנייה לפני שמוסרים אותי לצלב האדום. אמרו לי, תגידי שהתייחסו אלייך יפה, שהאנשים בעזה נחמדים, טובים. עכשיו, מה אני אגיד? התחיל לקלל אותם?
Food good and the kindness and everything good.
There are like a chorus of angels over here, cradling me in a big old bath of love and hospitality.
Yeah.
That's what they're like over here.
Wow, so beautiful. I don't even want to leave. I just want to stay here. I just want to stay here. Man. And then you have people who actually use that propaganda footage still to this day. Like this guy here. Like this guy here. Like this guy here. Mia Shem, people was very kind to me. Meets Israeli propaganda minister. Mia Shem, I went through a Holocaust. This guy uses this footage here, this obvious Hamas propaganda footage, which they made her, which they recorded with her against her will. They still use this to say that this is just propaganda. This is the truth. And from this, you can tell that these guys, these are terrorist sympathizers, terrorist supporters, and they should be treated as such. Yes, treated as such. Treated as collaborators, treated as terrorist sympathizers, terrorist supporters. I mean, if there was a way to treat people as collaborators, this would be it. These propagandists who help spread Hamas propaganda and spread it and all that, these are the collaborators.
So right when we were starting, I tweeted, "We're live for as long as AP's voice lasts. He's got coronavirus," right? And then someone replied, "His throat is still a bit sora." Get it? Sora?
That's good. That's good.
That's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I didn't think of that. Tante Summers said, ihr zwei seid bezaubernd. Frohes neues Jahr. Ja. Danke. Yeah. Norse Peak said, appreciate your views and talking about the truth. Sounds like she had a partial amputation due to the bone exploding from the bullet impact. Their attempt to put it back on probably messed it up more. That sounds about right. Critical YM said, Israeli here. A lot of what she says is figurative. Don't take everything literally. Translation messed up. Colloquial Hebrew is weird to foreigners. Yeah, that's what I thought, pretty much.
Yeah, and I get that. And I was actually thinking that when we were watching it, because I remembered I snapped a tendon off my elbow once, and then like I tell people, and then all of a sudden, like from my elbow down, it was just hanging there like linguine. And so if you were to translate that literally, and then my arm was dangling like linguine and stuff like that, or my arm was like linguine, then I don't know. It might not translate well to people who don't talk like that.
Yeah, but nothing compares to the eyes are the lettuce wrap of the anus.
That's clear in any language.
Yeah. Fedor Mephitis said, glad to see you made Toba and Allah is granting you healing. I made dua and chose you over the cow. Also, my straps broke and my undies took the skid mark of the beast. Thanks, AP and David. This is a beautiful comment here. See, this is what we like to see.
ומשאירים את האחרים שם.
זה לא יוצא לי מהראש. עד עכשיו.
This is on the question.
What about the other? How does it feel knowing you got released and there are others still there?
Yeah.
זה לצאת משם ולהתנצל שאת יוצאת משם. ולהרגיש אשמה. כי יש מאחוריך עוד אנשים שנשארים שם, שאומרים לך, מיה, בבקשה שלא ישכחו אותנו. פשוט תרגיש אשמה, זה להתנצל, להגיד, אני מצטערת, שאני יוצאת, בבקשה. בגלל זה אני עדיין לא הקלתי את החזרה שלי הביתה, אני לא יכולה להשלים איתה. כי יש שם עוד אנשים, ואני יודעת מה זה להיות שם. וזה כל היום בראש שלי. כל יום. זה לא עוזב אותי.
You know what I'm seeing this now, what I'm disgusted by? I have seen tweets of people saying, oh, look, she was filled with Israeli propaganda and Israel gave her instructions to go and cry, to depict Hamas as evil monsters. And I wasn't even aware that the moment she cries in this interview is not when she describes that something bad was done to her. It is when she describes that she felt bad about leaving the others behind and them begging her to not let people forget about them. Her feeling guilty and saying sorry that I get to leave. Such a selfless thing that she's actually crying for, and not what these Hamas supporting people here make it out to be. I'm only now realizing that. So
Yeah, and actually, it reminded me of I thought it was John McCain. I had to look. I couldn't remember who it was. I know it was a politician who was a prisoner of war. But yeah, it was John McCain. So he was a prisoner of war, but his dad was an admiral, and his dad was an admiral, and then became commander of all U.S. forces in the Vietnam theater. So his dad became the main guy, and the North Vietnamese tried to release McCain to show that they're the good guys and so on. They tried to release him, and he said, "I'm not leaving until every last person is gone." And so, anyway, he spent a while being tortured. Said he was beaten every 2 hours. Punishment occurred the same time he had been suffering from heat exhaustion and other problems. Lost 50 pounds even before that. Anyway, that is interesting. It's like in his head, I'm not going back. You're not taking me out of here. As much as it sucks being here, taking me out of it and me thinking about everyone who's still stuck here. Not going for that. So leave me here.
Yeah,
it's pretty badass.
Did you notice that during this entire interview, we watched 25 minutes of it. During this entire interview, the only time that she cried is when she
thinking about someone else.
When she talked about the others who were left behind.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's sitting there, and again, the pain once the adrenaline wears off of your arm being all messed up like that, stuck in that room, and yet she just, she was even in describing lots of stuff, was smiling about lots of things.
Yeah,
and then here's where she broke down.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Don't touch my arm.
לא האמנתי, כאילו, אני עד היום לא מאמינה. אני יושבת עם עצמי ואני אומרת, אני לא מאמינה שאני פה, אני לא מאמינה שזה נגמר, כאילו. אני לא מאמינה שיש לי יד, שאני פה עם המשפחה שלי, כאילו זה החלום כל כך רחוק, זה החלום רחוק. בסרט, כאילו. אז הגעתי לתל השומר, ראיתי את אחי הגדול, את דני, את אחותי הקטנה, את אבא שלי. כאילו, זה קצת מלהיות במנהרה, מתחת לאדמה, פצוע, מותש, עייף, נפשית כבר. כאילו, זה קיצוניות, זה פתאום לחזור הביתה ולקבל כל כך הרבה אהבה, לא רק מהמשפחה שלי, כאילו מבחוץ, כל כך הרבה אהבה, זה מטורף. כי שם הייתי כלום, הייתי שם כמו איזה חיה בכלוב.
I don't want to interrupt any part of that. It's just it's presented in the best way, and she says it all. Yeah. I don't know, I'm kind of speechless right now. David, is there anything you want to say?
No, not really.
Okay. Man, yeah, I hope that all the others can also be released as soon as possible. And shame and everything else that I don't even want to pronounce on all those who have been ripping down those posters around the world.
פתאום להגיע ולהיות הגיבורה והלוחמת. קיצוני.
אוהבים אותך, באמת. איך זה, זו את שקיבלת את הקעקוע?
כן.
אפשר לראות את זה?
בטח, תפשילי לי שרוול.
Oh yeah, I saw a photo of
Is that the We Will Dance again?
Yeah.
You should get that tattooed across your forehead as a sign of solidarity with everyone.
I will.
בצד אחד.
Thank you.
I made an appointment to get that tattooed on my forehead. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Yeah.
עכשיו מיה מחובקת ועטופה מכל כיוון. בביתה הזמני החדש בבית החולים שיבה, שאליו עברה רק לפני יומיים, היא מתמקדת בהחלמה, ולא רק בשיקום היד, אלא גם בהשלכות נוספות של השהות הארוכה בשבי.
עוד לא קולטים את זה, כי גם אין לנו זמן, כל פעם קורה משהו חדש. היה לה פתאום התקף אפילפסיה מטורף, שזה מתנה שהיא קיבלה בעזה גם, כאילו מכל הטראומה והחוסר שינה.
Oh, this is what I read, but she also developed epileptic seizures since she was in captivity. So since she came out of there, which she didn't have before. So she now has seizures. That's one of the things that are remainders of the situation.
חדש. היה לה פתאום התקף אפילפסיה מטורף, שזה מתנה שהיא קיבלה בעזה גם, כאילו מכל הטראומה.
Oh, hey, yeah.
והתזונה.
I just looked up if PTSD can cause seizures. The answer is yes, because the areas of your brain that get messed up, the amygdala, which is responsible for processing emotions and fear responses, may become overactive in individuals with PTSD. This hyperactivity can disrupt the normal balance of electrical signals in the brain, leading to seizures.
Yeah. Her life completely uprooted, brought to a place, kept under very dark circumstances, sleep deprivation, malnutrition, everything else with it brought PTSD and seizures. Yeah.
יש משהו חדש.
רגע, היא חולת אפילפסיה?
לא. היא לא, ואף אחד במשפחה לא. זה כל הטראומה, ושהיא לא ישנה, לא אכלה.
התפרצה לה אפילפסיה.
כן.
צר לי להפריע לכם, אבל אני הדסה ואני הפיזיותרפיסט. בואי. מוחמד לא בעלה, הרעב בעל מוחמד. ככה. זיקי, אני עוזבת?
עזבי.
עזבתי, אני לא מחזיקה. שלך. יפה לך.
יפה לי.
יפה לך.
יפה לי.
מה אתם אומרות?
מטורף.
הייתי אופטימית בזה שקמתי והלכתי למחבל. הייתי אופטימית כל התקופה שלי שם. אופטימיות ומחשבות חיוביות.
עם החטופים והחטופות שעדיין שם, שומעים אותך. יש משהו שאת רוצה להגיד להם?
שתהיו חזקים, תחזיקו עוד קצת. בקרוב מאוד אתם יוצאים החוצה.
That's very nice.
זהו.
That's, wow. Very touching, very nice. And I don't know, in comparison to all the stuff that you hear from these pro-terrorism people on how she is used or how she agreed to be a propagandist, you see the contrast in how they describe it and what this actually is. She talks about with the raw truth about things that happened without any exaggeration, without any exaggerated themes. The only time she actually cries is when she talks about those who were left behind and the guilt of getting out of there while others are still left behind. So she's using her tears not with, to gain sympathy or to explain how she was horribly mistreated by these Hamas terrorists, but rather just when she remembers the others who are still held there. So very noble compared to these terrorists and what they describe. I don't know.
Yeah, terrorists suck.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. This is inspiring. I'm impressed. I'm very happy that she's free, and I hope that this can be an inspiration for others as well. Hope the others can be freed as well. David, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, thinking about those remaining hostages. What do you think about all the people? Just do a ceasefire.
Yeah. I saw this. So here you can see that. I guess she has this tattoo. We will dance again. 7/10/23. For those who don't get it, the date is written the other way around in different parts of the world. Here again, we will dance again. 7/10/23.
That's like the opposite of that Wham song. Remember that one? I'm never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got no rhythm. That should be the song of the terrorists.
Isn't that song by that guy? What's that guy's name? I don't even know.
George Michael. That was with Wham. It's George Michael, man.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay. I didn't know that those are the same thing.
Never gonna dance again. Guilty feet have got terrorist feet have got no rhythm.
Yeah. All right. Chloe L said, I know what you want to say to the commenter, AP. I say it at the end of my hide like a rat video as a text box in the final part of it. Despicable. I'll get to that. Okay, I'll get to that. Obey said he shot her and then touched her. Don't play semantics, sir. It's disgusting. Yeah. Christian Gangster said she isn't ugly at all, just the age of her grandmother for a bunch of these sickos.
Great grandmother.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, guys, we always have to think about new people who aren't familiar with what we talk about here, and they're like, what were you saying? She's old? No, guys, we're referring to people like Daniel Hakikachu who think that if a girl gets precocious puberty, you can have sex with a 3-year-old and so on. So following that reasoning, someone who's 12, 15 or something, these are old enough to be grandmothers and great grandmothers, according to our jihadi friends.
It reminds me of this tweet that I made yesterday. Like sometimes I tweet some really important, informative stuff that I feel like I hope this spreads far and wide and nobody really pays attention. And then I tweet something as random as this, and it's like it goes viral, which is it says Yemen publicly execute child rapists, and I said, so if Muhammad was alive today, would they execute him too? And this has
No,
like
because he had
2 million views.
no, because he had parental consent, and you'd be
Yeah.
like, but that's still rape as far as the girl's concerned. And Farida be like, no, how can it be rape if there's parental consent?
Yeah, yeah.
As long as the dad says, yeah, you can go bang that girl, the girl has to keep her mouth shut.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of winners. We're dealing with some real winners here, AP.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Franklin said, did you see Aaron Mate's tweet? One of the victim's sisters said her sister wasn't raped. He's demanding New York Times retract the story. I didn't see his tweet. I see that he tweets a bunch of dumb stuff. Haven't checked it out, no. Nanny Poo Poo says, given the horrors she was subjected to, it's so twisted to have to acknowledge that, especially in light of the New York Times article. She is incredibly lucky. Yeah. Seed of Gabriel says, how would David Wood act in this kind of situation as a psychopath? Genuine question. David.
You mean if I was captive?
Yeah, this is your time to shine, David.
I'd be plotting on how to distract the guy, take him out, take his weapon, and fight my way out of there. To be realistic, it probably wouldn't work, but that's probably how I'd roll. If I were a woman, then yeah, I'd behave completely differently.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, for that tweet of mine that went viral, kind of, you know what? I actually stole the idea from none other than Black Angel.
AP always stealing everyone's ideas, and Black Angel doesn't put all our ideas out there. You steal them, and then everyone's like, "Oh, AP's so awesome and funny and witty."
She made a tweet where she said something along those lines. She didn't say the same thing, but her Twitter is private, so nobody can see her tweets and nobody can like them.
Yeah.
So
just so everyone knows, I also steal tweet ideas from Black Angel, because she'll tag us so we see, no one else sees, and then I'll post something that's roughly the same thing, and everyone will be like, "Oh, David, you're so awesome."
Because sometimes she really just like says things that I could never think of, and they're often very witty and very funny. So maybe we should just give our social media stuff over to her, and she should just tweet on our behalf, because it would do better.
Well, you can. She posts some messed up stuff about Muhammad.
Oh yeah,
and Diha al-Kalbi and what Diha was doing to Muhammad's butt and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, so I saw her tweet and I thought, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to steal this and post it as if it was my idea so that people can like my tweet. And then I did. And yeah, now I'm here exposing myself. Not literally. But yeah, thank you, Black Angel. Always. Awesome.
Hey, you know what'd be cool?
What?
If Masab Hassan Yusuf married that girl and they started a family.
Which girl?
The girl whose video we just watched.
Oh, okay. Let's arrange that.
No, I'm just saying, those kids would not fall for a lot of pro-Islamic propaganda. I'll just say that.
You never know. Love Thy Neighbor said, thank you for having this channel and working together, AP and David Wood. David Wood, do you have any videos on the similarities, connections between Calvinism and Islam? Between Dems and Reps? I choose the cow. David, do you?
So Calvinists are people like Anthony Rogers, is Calvinist. Vocab's a Calvinist. A lot of my friends are Calvinists. As far as the similarities, as far as lots of Islamic thought, they would agree on determinism by God, like God determines what happens and so on. But the similarities would kind of drop off there, because in Calvinism, it's the God of Christianity who's determining things, and in Islam, it's Allah determining things, and you get some pretty different views coming out of that.
Alhamdulillah. Vinity Pooh said, thanks, AP and David Wood, for your hard work and support for Israel. I pray you feel better soon, AP. Here are some shekels from Mossad. Don't tell anyone. Thank you. Thank you. You don't have to thank me. It's just I'm doing this for the money that I get from Israel for supporting Israel.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Why would you thank someone? Here's some shekels from Mossad. So you don't thank someone for doing what they're paid to do. You don't like, oh, hey, here, I'm paying you to fix this. I'm paying you to fix my car. Oh, thank you for doing what I paid you to do. No.
Yeah, ridiculous. Why would I care about Israel? I'm doing this because they pay me. Otherwise,
yeah, he's an atheist. Why would he care about anything?
Why would I care about anything at all? CC said, "Thank you." This is just a joke that never gets old, and we keep doing this. But every time we do that, I feel like, is there going to be? I bet there are people in the listening to that somewhere and taking that totally seriously.
That you find that out on the internet. There are people who don't understand joking. They don't understand sarcasm. They don't understand teasing, playful teasing. They don't understand. Yeah, there are people in the world who.
Yeah, you see, they admitted. CC said, "Thank you." No, thank you, CC. How dare you? Thank you. Harris said, "Saw your wife posting a video of your son, AP. He's so cute, and I'm 100%." Jeez, I just accidentally almost knocked over my lights here. I'm 100% sure Destiny is not the father. Oh, hi. Oh, hi there, David. You're also
Oh,
cute.
hi there, David.
But you call David cute? What is this?
Oh, hi there, Mark.
Oh yeah, my wife was listening to Destiny, and my little son was like, "That's Daddy. It's Daddy." Because he hears me on the phone sometimes. Crossed elect ambassador said, "Hey David, will God Almighty rewarded you a lot. I love you so much, brother. You inspired me to start my own channel to talk about my experience with Islam."
That's good.
That's good. That's good.
Do it.
I don't know why I did this whole accent. Yeah, I'm just realizing now that this is from Canada.
Hey, start my own channel, eh?
Velvet Jazz says,
grabbing some coffee at the Tim Hortons and stuff for some maple syrup on the way back, eh? And then started a channel.
Channel about my experience with Islam, eh?
I call it the Complete Maple Syrup's Guide to Exposing Islam.
Yeah.
It's funny how we think of Canadians, but that's like that's everything I know about Canadians there. Anyway.
Yeah. They're all weirdos. Velvet Jazz said, "Thanks for sparing the truth. The more good people see and hear of what's happened, they may speak up and prevail for Israel. Inshallah. There's a lot of terrible propaganda spreading around the world right now, and a lot of neo-Nazis and Islamists and leftists, socialists, communists uniting in their whole anti-Zionists, anti-Jew hate. It's really, really disturbing to see. I don't know. I'm really surprised. I want to ask you, David, what do you think about this? Over the years, of course, I've seen these fringe groups of neo-Nazi people who would post or share some really messed up anti-Semitic stuff, and then you always, of course, see the Islamists who freely do that and who get away with it, who are not shamed for that, and then you see some on the very far left have these anti-Zionist, almost anti-Semitic positions. But I kind of thought that it was all quite fringe and it wouldn't be this popular. But suddenly, since October 7th, since the start of this war, it looks like it all became so very normal again for these people to come together and just to do the most insane anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and rallies and wish death for Jews. And I don't know, was this predictable? I don't even get it.
The predictable part, because that's the way it would seem if you go back 10 or 15 years. You don't think you think, okay, why can't you have a two-state solution? Come on, we're obviously past the time when people are the world wants to slaughter a bunch of Jews and things like that. What in the world? So you'd think that. The problem is once people are parts of their various groups and they have been trained and conditioned to accept whatever the group is saying at any given moment. I mean, keep in mind. So even if we're not talking about Islam, notice in Islam, they all rally around like their Dawa hero or something like that, or their scholar or something like that. That guy can come out tomorrow and say, here's what we're doing now. And they will just mindlessly go along with it. But not even talking about them. I mean, people wake up every day and look on Twitter and say, okay, what am I supposed to be enraged about today? Here's the thing I have to be enraged about today. Right. And they're just conditioned to, it's like they're all taking orders from whoever they've decided to rally around. But guess what? If someone comes out and says, we're going after the Jews now, they just go along with it. I mean, keep in mind, you had college students around the world, but especially in the West, and they just wake up one day and we hate Jews. And even if they had no hatred of Jews at all before that, if that's what they're supposed to do now as part of their group, they instantly jump on board. And what it all does is, I would say, whatever else you happen to think about Israel, even if you disagree with what's going on and with Gaza, and so even if you disagree with all that, I'd say you have an absolutely slam dunk case that Israel needs its own state, because they cannot trust how they will be treated anywhere else in the entire world. You just can't trust people. I mean, think about this. We think of Nazi Germany. How do they get to that point? Look, I mean, it seems like you could get to that point very quickly, like within a couple months or a couple years at most, pretty much anywhere. And everyone could just flip a switch and say, okay, we're all going after Jews now. And a bunch of morons will go along with it. So, yep.
And this is the whole thing. This is how Israel has been, and how Israelis and Jews in general have felt for a long time. I understood this a while ago after I left Islam and started thinking about it, and it all makes sense again now. It probably doesn't make sense to all those people who would like to hate Jews and believe in conspiracy theories, but the idea that the sentiment that people have there is basically, guys, we should be there for each other. Whenever something goes wrong in the world, it doesn't take very long for people to point at us. And then there are not many people that we can actually trust. No matter where we are always in danger. People look out for themselves, and they want to betray us. They want to come after us. We are supposed to look out for for each other, for our own, because nobody else will. If it comes down to it, if things get dirty, they will just unite and want us killed, want us removed. Which is why we need our own place. We need our own safety. We need our own protection. We need to protect our people properly, not listen to the propaganda that these people spread about us. And there it is. Since October 7th, it is completely proven right that exactly that is how it goes. A terrorist attack happens. Civilians are attacked within Israel. An overwhelmingly civilians are killed in this terrorist attack in the most brutal ways. Israel responds, and not even before Israel even responded, the world started hating the Jews, and from then it only became worse and worse and worse for those people who were ready to hate the Jews, which is why it is just this is proof. The Israeli state is needed. A home for Jewish people is needed. There simply is no safety. There simply is no way to trust the world when push comes to shove. And things are so bad even that, I'm sure you have seen this, where some stupid socialists go out and not only say free Palestine, but also cheer for the Houthis in Yemen. Like here.
Justified. When people are colonized.
When people are colonized.
Resistance is justified.
Resistance is justified.
When people are occupied.
When
Palestine.
From Lebanon to Palestine.
So these guys here are yelling, Yemen, Yemen, make us proud, turn another ship around. First off, the, the forces in Yemen that are turning ships around are the Houthis, who are not the who are not the Yemeni government. They are a terrorist organization that is trying to overthrow the internationally recognized Yemen government and trying to be the new government. They're also an imperialist force that wants to spread their influence and wage war against America and Israel. And these are actual American people here cheering for the Houthis, cheering for Yemen in this case. And these are socialists, leftists. And guess what? One very interesting thing about those Houthis is that this is their flag. Their flag is disgusting. It's the worst, the dumbest flag I've seen in my entire life. This is an actual flag. Look what their flag says. It says,
you can't be in power just because of your flag, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if you can't make anything that looks like a decent flag, you obviously can't run a country.
Yeah. Their flag says Allahu Akbar, death to America.
Yeah. Look, I don't care if it said peace on earth and goodwill towards men. If you make a stupid looking flag like that, then you don't get to run things.
Then it says death to Israel. And finally it says curse the Jews. Curse the Jews and victory to Islam. This is their official flag.
Oh, you got to check out my response though.
Oh, what was that?
My powerful response right there. Awesome.
But it's not an exaggeration. So there are people really like Americans, Westerners, some other imbeciles genuinely really cheering for the Houthis here and saying, yeah, America deserves to lose this. They are heroes. They should stand up. If you don't believe me, look it up. Here, Houthi movement. This is their flag. This is their flag. And it says here, God is the greatest, death to America, death to Israel, curse upon the Jews, victory to Islam. These are the guys.
A bunch of morons rooting for it in the West.
And these guys are rooting for them. Seriously? These supposed socialists, Party for Socialism and Liberation, are here in America rooting for them. What kind of a stupid world are we living in?
Can you imagine if you were a horrible, awful person and a manipulator, and you just look out and you see this level of stupidity among students around the world? I mean, you could tell them to. I mean, if the people doing the chants had just told the students to start yelling, "Yeah, we love Hitler and we're going to kill all these people. We're going to kill all the Jews," they just started yelling it. If that's just what the cool thing to do is.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah. That is true.
You know what the cool part is though? As absolutely stupid as all these morons are, it's good that Israel's not falling for it. You know what I mean? Like they're still going after Hamas. They're still fighting for a total victory over Hamas, and they're not listening to a bunch of moron socialists in other parts of the world.
Isn't it fantastic? It's like people around the world are like protesting, like war.
We're making a difference.
Ceasefire, stop now.
We're making a difference.
We are putting them under pressure. Things will change soon.
They're going to break now. Yeah. They're trembling. They're trembling.
And then you get the news today. They just assassinated. They just killed a Hamas leader in Lebanon. This is what they do. See, you protest around the world.
Keep happening.
You do your protests around the world. You are an idiot around the world, and you are idiots around the world. And you think we are making a difference. Yeah, look, Israel is under pressure because we are all on Palestine's side. And meanwhile, Israel is like, hey, you know what? We don't care. They just go ahead and then they kill their next target. That's how it's done. That's how it's done.
And I predict you're gonna start seeing some of those
energy.
You're going to mark my words. You're going to start seeing some of those Hamas guys in completely different parts of the world. And, Hamas leader so-and-so was found dead in his hotel room in some completely different country. But yep, that'll start happening because I don't think they're playing around.
I hope so. I hope so. I hope we can soon get the news of all the Hamas leaders and all the Hamas figures in charge, all of them being found dead or just targeted and taken out in the cleanest, best, most efficient ways. However it's done, should be done. The world will be a better place once that is done. Inshallah, every single Hamas leader, operative, official, whatever it is, take them all out. Make the world a cleaner place. Take out the filth. Take out the trash. Velvet Jazz said, thanks for spreading the truth. Oh, I already read this. Hunting Shark said, Mia was dragged to a place worse than hell. Hope her recovery, both psychologically and physically, is speedy with everyone else who managed to escape. Hope so too. Hope so too. Spirit Sound said, we should do. Which video did you cover for the From Them verse? What? Which video did you cover the From Them verse? Oh, the thing.
Yeah, I think that's about killing
killing
women and children.
Yeah.
Did you make that would have been some of the. We did. I mean, I'm sure I have at various points in the past after terrorist attacks and so on.
We had live.
We did multiple live streams. Some of the early ones after the attacks, when we were told, no, Islam condemns killing women and children. So no way this has anything to do with Islam. And yeah, we went through some of the stuff there.
Hey, look at this imbecile.
We went through those passages.
Look at this imbecile, by the way. One of our favorite Muslim apologists and famous pedophilia advocates. So Daniel Kikichu here posts a video in which he makes a claim about. Just watch.
Over 100,000 Afghanis were murdered by the U.S. and the coalition forces, but 3,600 coalition soldiers died. Now, how many IDF soldiers have been killed in the past 2 months? The number is shocking when you compare it to 20 years in Afghanistan. Estimate is about 3,000. 3,000 IDF soldiers have been killed.
Now, he put this here on here. He says 3,000 IDF soldiers have been killed. David, can you try to read the sentence here?
The whole sentence, the number of Hamas fighters killed is difficult to determine, but the IDF said up to 3,000 met their end by November 1st. This guy is not even literate, man. You guys get it? It's talking about the number of the IDF saying how many Hamas fighters had been killed by November 1st. Dude, this guy cannot, I want to say it here. Any source this guy quotes in a debate, in a video, you just have to stop and say, dude, I know you just quoted a source and you said it says this. You are so either completely deceptive or so incredibly dumb. You can't read word. You can't understand. Notice you pointed out, this isn't a situation where you need to read an article or something like that. You just have to actually understand a sentence. He can't. Hijab builds his entire case on his own inability to understand a headline. The headline of we're not even saying, hey, hijab, you need to understand the entire article. Can you at least understand the words in the headline? These are the champions of dawah. Notice, the less capable you are of understanding a sentence or a headline, the more popular you become as a dawah guy. The more insanely illiterate you are, the more popular you are. What else should we expect from the religion that praises and honors and glorifies an illiterate prophet?
I mean, I don't even get it. Is this really?
Have you made a response to this?
I didn't. I saw somebody.
You need to make a short response to this. You could do this all the time. You could do this with almost anything that Daniel quotes, because again, he's either completely dishonest with everything he describes, and he knows that his followers are too stupid to know any better, or he just doesn't understand words. He doesn't get them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And guys, for those of you who are watching, this is the consequence of spending your entire dawah life like this, right? Like the guys who will read a chapter of the Bible and zero in and fixate on something they think is about Muhammad while not even finishing what the verse says, let alone the passage, and just zeroing in on anything that supports something they want to believe and ignoring everything else and not caring at all about being able to actually understand a passage. This is what you get. You end up with your heroes who can't read and understand a sentence or a headline. They don't get it. They're too dumb. You need to compile that with like hijab. Not
this is your Harvard graduate. He talks
Harvard.
He talks about
this. Is
he
what Harvard's
puts it on the
out.
screen. He highlights it, and he completely misunderstands what it says.
Oh, look! It says 3,000 IDF soldiers are dead. Oh!
Yeah, this is unbelievable, man.
What a dope
guy. man.
Keep in mind, this is important to know because everyone Daniel debates, he'll cite 50 sources that no one else has read, and he'll be, and this source says this, and this source says that, and people are going, oh, okay, yeah, and you assume that he's citing this stuff accurately, when everything that I've ever actually looked, whenever this man has cited anything, and I either knew what he was talking about or I looked it up, he again, either complete compulsive liar, or how did this guy graduate from anywhere with a complete inability to understand anything that he's reading?
I don't know when and how it happened. Maybe something happened and he just became completely intellectually incapable. I don't know what it is, but this is just too much. Like, he puts it on the screen, he highlights it. Wow, man.
And notice, you just pointed that out. If he weren't dumb enough to put that on the screen, most people wouldn't have caught on, right? Most people wouldn't have caught on. To be clear, I guarantee you, none of his fans notice. None of his fans notice. They're all too dumb. What I mean is, if he hadn't put the source on the screen, most even critics would have said, "Oh, okay, he's citing some article and that he researched and so on," not realizing this dude, he's apparently completely incompetent at understanding anything he's reading.
Yeah, there is another thing that he also did recently. I mean, this shows that he's, I don't know, stupid, that he can't understand simple sentences. And then there is, of course, proof of something else here again, where he is either stupid or he is clearly dishonest. And you can see some proof that he is dishonest. And that is where recently he made a tweet. He said something like, what was that? Wait a minute. He said something about Israel having committed a genocide against Palestinians by killing 700,000 of them, or something like that, which is a complete misrepresentation of what the Nakba is that he was talking about. But I want to actually get to that and bring that up just to look at that as well. Let me scroll through this here. Let's see. Let's look at this beautiful goat here. This beautiful goat. Oh yeah, here, look at this. Now here, Daniel Kikachu makes a response to Dr. Eli David. Dr. Eli David says, Adam and Eve were Palestinians. They became refugees after Zionists occupied the Garden of Eden and expelled them in the first Nakba. And the Nakba is what the Palestinians call the whole incident of Palestinians being displaced from there. But the actual issue, the actual narrative, what they actually claim is that 700,000 Palestinians were displaced, right? Now, here is what Daniel Kikachu says. Zionists mock the historical genocide of Palestinians, where 700,000 were killed by Jewish terrorists. He turned it into killed instead of displaced. He is here arguing that they were killed. 700,000 were killed. Now, he was corrected on this, It was pointed out, hey, not killed, displaced, expelled, fled. Even his own followers pointed it out. Somebody said not 700,000, but 500 million. If you lie, lie big. But what he did as a response to this, when people corrected him, is he didn't correct himself. He just doubled down. The next day he posted this: always remember, Israel attacked first. The Zionist state was founded via the murder and expulsion of 700,000 Palestinians. So what he does here, instead of saying, oh guys, I tweeted earlier 700,000 Palestinians were killed, that was a mistake, I meant to say fled or expelled, what he does instead of that is to make a follow-up tweet and say the murder and expulsion of 700,000 Palestinians. This is how dishonest he is. This is Daniel Kikiju. These are your average Muslim apologists, your average pro-Hamas propagandists here.
Apart from the 700,000, it's he doesn't get. They're not making fun of people who died. They're making fun of idiots who are saying everyone's a Palestinian. Yeah. That's what that tweet was making fun of. He's making fun of saying, oh, this guy's a Palestinian. He's a Palestinian. Jesus is a Palestinian. Everyone's a Palestinian. And say, okay, Adam and Eve were Palestinians. They go, oh, you're mocking the people who are being killed. We're mocking you morons. Mocking you morons for saying everyone's Palestinian when they aren't. My goodness, what to do.
Alhamdulillah. That's how it is. That's what they do.
That's what they do. Urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
Lucid said, AP and David Wood, who is on your Mount Rushmore for best Islam critics?
I don't. It's sort of the same question of like, hey, David, what's your favorite Bible book? I don't know. There are different criteria. There are different things you could be looking at.
Just say it, man. Just 1 minute response. Come on. 5-second response.
I don't know. I don't know. It depends on what the criteria were. I could say I could like this. So notice you could say you could say
don't lecture. Just it's only
listen. You could say Salman Rushdie. He hasn't done a lot, but the one thing he did completely like enraged people over bringing up the scientific. The satanic verses. So that, as far as like exposing jihad, I'd go with Robert Spencer. If you wanted to go old school, John of Damascus. So anyway, I don't know. It would depend on what you're looking for.
Yeah, I would say Daniel Kikiju.
They do more than the critics do.
Yeah.
I'm saying this because you can have 20 critics shouting every day for 20 years something, hey, Islam allows pedophilia, and one of these guys will come along and make a bigger impact than the 20 critics.
Alhamdulillah, that's true. Misha Banglin said, get well, AP. I make sure to spread your videos here in Israel, spreading corruption in the land. Thank you very much. I appreciate it very, very much. Hope we can spread more information. And thank you. I am getting better. I will. Arman Aldan said, look up a caricature called Last Muslim on Earth. I know that. That's the one where this guy's on the floor fighting himself with the swords on his feet and in his hands, right? Let's see. Last Muslim in the world. Yes, last Muslim on Earth. This is this one thing here. This here. I know that. My TV said, please do a cover on New York Times report Screams Without Word. David Wood did that. He covered it on his channel.
I literally went through the entire article.
Yeah, David Wood did that. I might talk about it separately at some point. Something. Greg Smith said, the mind of God is masculine, thinking truth. The heart of God is feminine, emotion, love. And together they create the body of the universe, a trinity, mind, heart, and body of God. Is this an interpretation that you...
Yeah, that would definitely be
a
interpretation that
you don't want to roll with?
No, I'm not going to roll with that interpretation of the Trinity.
SC Rocket XR1 said Harvard University needs to watch this. Yeah. Alhamdulillah.
They'd be like, wow, we're doing really great work.
K-pop Palace said, I found an article by The Guardian claiming that Shakespeare is Palestinian. He was actually Palestinian. His name was Sheikh Zubair. That was his real name. Sheikh Zubair was the actual guy. He was Palestinian. He was a Muslim. But of course, the evil Zionists and the British, they tried to hijack him and turned him into...
They corrupted it.
Shakespeare. Corrupted it. Yeah. Terrible. Unicorn 1620 said, thanks, AP David Wood. Couldn't watch this alone. You mean this live stream? No, you mean the
video.
The Mia Shem video, of course. I know. I'm just being dumb. Sorgavav said, I resonate with Israeli spirit. After 2,000 years, Israel says, even if everyone else hates us, we'll still be here. And there's not a damn thing you'll do about it. Yeah. That's exactly what's going on. That's how it is. Paul Khan said, did you know the International Red Cross were still denying what was happening at Auschwitz in 1944 and didn't apologize until 52 years after? I know that they weren't very much on top of the situation. I don't know much about the details of it, though. Plus, their numbers were not keeping up with all the reports of Jews being massacred. The issue with the Holocaust is also that most of the world, the Allied forces, weren't aware of the extent of what was happening until after the war, until the war was over, and they started searching and finding the concentration camps, the extermination camps, and German records, and then questioning the Nazis, having admissions from them, and so on. It's pretty messed up because the Nazis were aware that this is not just something that they can get away with. So they were committing the Holocaust in a secretive way and trying to get rid of evidence. They were systematically, they only had certain extermination camps which were set up to be destroyed once they are abandoned, so that they cannot be. It can't be proven that they were exterminating people there, and so on. The Nazis were messed up. Nanny Poo Poo said, AP, you should visit Israel one day. You would love it. I shall. That sounds like a good idea, David.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, it sounds like a very good idea. Jason Milton said, from Quran, Hamas militants would be allowed to gape by their captives, but she says they didn't. Maybe they're afraid the world is watching Islam badly.
Yeah, I actually mentioned this earlier. So her interpretation of why she wasn't raped was that she's in a house with the guy's wife and kids and stuff like that. I pointed out that there can be other reasons, as far as groups having rules about what's going on to their captives for future purposes. You want people to understand what's going to happen in future negotiations.
It would only make sense for a terrorist organization, no matter how bad they are, to give strict instructions to their terrorists and say, okay, when you take these captives, you will make sure to treat them as well as possible, as nicely, as kindly as possible, and don't do anything really horrible to them, because we want to give people the impression that we are not monsters, although we are monsters. In the field, yeah, we do all kinds of messed up things, but the hostages, we will deal with very, very specific, caution and attention. And even then, they actually executed and mistreated several of the. There is a doctor's report where 100-something of the released hostages were treated and checked by the doctors, and they said that at least 10 of them experienced sexual abuse and assault in captivity. Further details are not given, but that is established. Velvet Jess says, all it takes for the triumph of evil is that good men do nothing. Looks like US is again hedging on support. Caroline Glick has a new video. It's really insane how America is like right now, I don't know, preventing the bad stuff from taking over. Yep. Bob Jabry says, PTSD is curable with EMDR. I am a licensed psychologist. Please spread this information to people who suffer from it and help them seek life-changing treatment. Yeah, more people should know about this. I learned this in psychology. PTSD is curable with EMDR. Thank you for adding that. I'm trying to remember what exactly EMDR stood for. That's eye movement. I don't know. Is that the one where you're supposed to follow something with your eyes while receiving therapy? Right? Is that it? Let me see. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing therapy. Okay, yeah, exactly that. That's that. Desert Fox says, why do Jews want Muslims to be sent to the West? Here, one of those comments. Hosta Mahogi said, do you think her coming out like this could reduce the odds of other hostages being released safely? I don't think so. I think she didn't do enough of. I'm pretty sure that that the Israeli government is in contact with her and with other hostages, and that she had to receive a briefing on what she can and cannot say before she went on a TV show to get interviewed. I'm pretty sure they told her that she cannot give certain details about the other hostages, for example, which is why she said that she can't go into details about the other hostages, although she met them. So pretty sure the government steps in and takes care of that to make sure that that she doesn't, compromise the safety of others that are still there. Hai said Hamas literally more sadistic than Art the Clown. Yeah. Farfour said David steals ideas from Black Angel. Christian AP also steals Black Angel's ideas. Atheist, draw your own conclusion. That's good. I'm going to keep that for David, who is gone again. Hey, this one's a good one. This one's a good one.
That is good.
It's good, right? Yeah. Hostamagi said, Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalam. Why are you not covering the recent discovery of the leather straps of Uranus?
Yeah, I did a tweet on that.
Are you scared by the truth? Alhamdulillah. Man. Sheikh Yeshakal Makir says, open your leather straps to the truth. I will. Ayatollah Khamenei said, did you gargle with Zamzam water to heal your COVID? You're finished, boy. I did, but it didn't work.
You're sick. You're sick.
It still didn't
I wonder
work.
if any followers of Muhammad out there drink camel urine to try and cure COVID.
I do.
You know to be funny, if someone did it and it like actually cured COVID, we would never hear the end of that. If camel urine turned out to be a cure for COVID, that would it. Like half the world would convert to Islam after that.
Perfect solution. Oh yeah, you shared this, right? This is proof for Islam.
Yep. Powerful proof.
Astronomy News says planetary scientists discover eye of Uranus composed of leather straps. Wow. Ibn Fibn, December 29th, 2023. Scientists investigating the composition of Uranus were shocked to discover that its composition was miraculously foretold by an ancient Islamic hadith. Atmosphere. contains methane, of course. Mantle contains methane ice, of course. Eye composed entirely of leather straps. Wow. This is powerful, man. I didn't see this before. This should be used as proof that Islam is true. Ezra said Jews. Yeah. Porkhan said leftists are now saying Jewish doctors in the West should not be allowed to treat Muslims. It's the Soviet doctors plot all over again. I know, it was amazing that one of those propagandists actually made a tweet about how there are so many Zionist doctors in the West, and it's very concerning and all that, which is literally one of the big Soviet anti-Semitic plots, the doctors plot. Yeah. For those who are not aware, the Soviet Union was not, in fact, a Jewish system to to destroy Europe or whatever it is. In the Soviet Union, especially under Stalin, a lot of anti-Jewish stuff happened, including something called the Doctor's Plot, and other attempts to remove Jewish people and others from positions because of some suspected evil or disloyalty on their behalf. Troll Axe Thrower said, did you see PragerU's video called Would College Students Donate to Support the Killing of Jace? I haven't seen it.
Haven't seen it, but I would imagine they're going around saying, hey, will you help us fund this killing of Jews? And people are like, yeah, here's some money.
Alhamdulillah. Yep. PBUM said, peace be upon me, said AP, welcome back. Any ideas of naked genie riding Mo the whole night on Musnad ibn Hanbal? David, any new coming debates for 2024? How about no?
How about no?
David, your response?
You already gave the answer. How about no?
Yeah, that's it. As for me, I'm going to have a debate with Daniel Kikichu quite soon, in about 2 weeks.
And Daniel will probably be citing some sources.
Very solid sources. Alhamdulillah. Alfonso Laputa said, used to be a leftist. Anti-Semitism was always there under the surface with those groups. Yet they love to call anyone who disagrees with them a Nazi. Yep, that's wrong. That's the problem. And please, nobody in the chat repeat the age-old Nazis were socialists thing. Please stop. Don't do that. It's not right. It's not accurate. Ayatollah Khamenei said, I actually drew the Houthi flag myself after a bender where I was surfing only goats nonstop for 3 days. True story. That makes sense. That explains it. Spirit Someone said, sorry for spamming, but thanks for answering. Thank you for answering too. And thank you for asking too. I'm kind of dying here, so I should probably leave. Mm-hmm. Nanny Poo Poo said, if you're looking for reaction material, democracy now is absolutely pure, grotesque, anti-Semitic, anti-American propaganda to rival Al Jazeera. I believe that. Every day. Uzair Jibril said, I have noticed in your debates with them too, their brains literally turn off when an idea enters their head that contradicts their preconceptions. That's very Islamophobic of you.
It's pretty racist.
Yeah. Alfonso Laputa said, Daniel looks like he has one set of grandparents. Why are you laughing?
No, Daniel looks normal to me. He just... It's his ability to understand words that's the problem. And I don't know if that's a feature of having only one set of grandparents. I don't know. Yeah, it's like did he have one set of grandparents who also couldn't read words off a page, and that would they had some sort of genetic mutation that wouldn't allow them to understand words off a page, and that it explains everything? I don't know.
Yep. Gigachit Farfour says, nobody asks what the point of October 7th was. What was the military goal? To open up a front, just like in the Russo-Ukrainian war? We know what the goal was. The goal was to...
It was to murder and rape a bunch of people and throw everything off and get everyone riled up about Israel again. That's what it was.
I don't know. It looks like it was for Hamas to commit suicide because that's what it led to. I don't know. Farfour says, AP, you must stop showing that lady goat. I'm getting impure thoughts. Jesus Allah. Who is this Farfour here? I'm really wondering. Is this Sir White Meat?
That would be funny if it was like just me and I'm just sitting here typing this stuff the whole time.
The cow he chose said that Hakikachi moment is the perfect metaphor for anyone who believes and takes part in Islam. Some are good people, but many brain cells are missing. It's very racist. Itama the archaeologist has been a member for 1 month. That's very, very good. Joseph Cohen made a video about Daniel Kikachu, who claims Jesus is mocked in the Talmud. Worth watching his idiotic claims. I saw that he did. I didn't watch the video yet, but I might have a look at that later. Metal Force 999 said Waka Hala Bula Sulu. Yep, Alhamdulillah. This is a perfect Islamic prayer. Kirsten C made an emoji super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Very, very nice. Very cute. Ezra said, "Oh no, I'm a Palestinian."
Ezra.
Yep.
And the Jews call you the son of Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Troll X Thrower said, "I missed it. When is the debate Farfour versus Pikachu?" That'll be a good debate.
That's why we need a mouse costume. We could have AP debates Farfour the mouse and Farfour the terror mouse.
No, we could have Farfour debate Pikachu from Pokemon. That'd be good. That's a good idea.
You should show up to your debate with Hakikachu as Farfour. Then he wouldn't be able to argue with you because you'd be his hero.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I should do that. I shall do that. I shall do so.
Urinating upon one another.
That's what they do.
I was gonna look quickly at Chloe's video here before I leave. Because I said earlier I would. So let's see. 72 space virgins. Are you ready for this, David? The cow he chose said there's a Jew and a Hakika Jew. Yep, always is.
Hey, kiddies, you ready to go to Mars? Make sure you leave the strap tight. We're in for a hell of a flight. That's right, we're going to the stars. Mr. Mars taking us so far. Hooray! 70 trips, space, 70 trips. All these big good little jihadis. Going to the final party. 72 Martian flies. Look at the Mars kids. God makes it rain. It's a Jimmy code in the Mars business thing. Get ready, kids. The present of the 7th level. Try to forget your worshiping McDonald's. Look at all the shiny stars.
Are we there yet?
No, kids, don't act so sore. Remember what you're dying for. 70 trips, space, 70 trips, space, flying so far, there's no stopping now. Speeding like twice, okay to paradise. We 180 bitches now. This one's sure gonna call me and gonna play. Are we there yet? 70 trips, space, 70 trips. We're on Mars. Just go and do rocket cars. Well, here we are, kids. The Mars on the Space Wars. Oh, I think I see them. They're coming over the mountains. They're all gorgeous and even naked. Look at their little legs so sexy. They're gonna crush us in their pizzas. Oh, this is really nice. Wasn't this what freedom model, kitties? So very nice.
kind of like mad scientist stuff there.
What a story. Nice. Well, what a story. Man, the 72 virgins are just a bunch of... Wow, that's nice.
Powerful.
Natty Poo Poo said, David Wood, were you able to access the Mo Friends PDF? Yeah, you were.
Yeah, I got it open. I got it open right when I was waiting for AP because he was taking forever. But yeah.
72 space virgins. I'm gonna have that in my head now all night. It's gonna get stuck in my head.
Space virgins.
Jatma said Farfour in Boom Boom Room. Nice. Farfour said, I think Sir White Meat gave me the wrong drugs. Okay, this is getting out of hand. We gotta go. Okay. 72.
I didn't
Chloe,
even tell
very,
you. I didn't even,
nice, Chloe.
I didn't even tell you because I figured you'd you're still going to be sick or you would if you still debated on Thursday that your voice would be destroyed. That your voice would be destroyed. Anyway, I set up for Thursday. Thursday works for Issa. Issa's coming on. Remember Issa Kabir?
Oh yeah.
Issa's coming on. He's going to break down some Sufi stuff. So anyway, that's what's going on Thursday. You could jump in there, but you can't be calling him goofy Sufis, man.
Goofy Sufis.
He's one of the only guys who doesn't want us brutally murdered in the name of Allah.
Well,
and you're gonna take him off and be like, oh, goofy Sufi, Sufi, goofy Sufi, and then he's gonna be like, gosh, Daniel Hakikatu was right about you guys.
And look at Farfour said, I think Sir White Meat gave me the wrong drugs. And then Sir White Meat said, my bad, Farfour. Yeah. See? You see? All right. Good to see that Mia Schem is in safety. Good to see that she can smile again. Hope that all other hostages can similarly find their way to safety. And that Hamas is entirely eradicated very soon, because it is a must, and which is why there shouldn't be a ceasefire, because a ceasefire would just be a possibility for Hamas to take a breath and come back and attack and kill people again and again and again. Certain groups, certain ideas, certain cultures even just need to cease existing in order for the world to become a better place. Because
urinating upon one another. That's what they do.
No, not that one. Because anyway, I couldn't find the right button now.
I don't buy your Ella.
Anyway, David, anything else you want to
add? Nope. Just yep. So Islam's pretty cool, as everyone can see.
Why stuttering?
It's powerful.
Okay.
Look at the awesome representatives.
He's being more slippery than the lubricants that he sells in his daughter's sex shop.
Yeah.
We've got Hamas, and then the ones who don't actually go out and fight. You got the Dawa guys, and they're all super smart.
Very, very super smart. By the way,
and intellectually honest.
Yep. Andrea Fix said, good morning from South Africa. Thank you for your work, guys. Thank you so much. Appreciate it very, very much.
Super shekels from South Africa.
And AP, do you speak with or visit your Muslim family, or have they disowned you? If that's too personal, then don't answer. God bless you too. Christ is King. I haven't spoken with my father since he found out what I do. That was 4 years ago, I believe. With my mother, I spoke last before October 7. Since then, since October 7th, I haven't called my mother, and she hasn't called me, and I think we both know why. Because I don't know. I think it's kind of awkward.
You're awkward.
Truth Exclusive said, AP, please read our John 3:16 now, please. Love you, and David, you are like brothers. I don't have brothers. What John 3? Wait, what was that? John 3:16.
Wanted you to read John 3:16.
David, read it. Read it.
It's the most famous verse in the world, dude.
For
God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son.
Yeah. I know. I didn't know that that's what it is, but as soon as you said it's the most famous, I knew exactly what you meant. So, you see, I know what we're talking about. You see, this just proves that Christianity is true. DJG said, hey, David Wood, thanks for the story the other day. Okay, I really have to go, man. I can't keep reading super chats here. Before the New York Times article about how God humbled you in prison, he truly works in mysterious ways. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Daniel's laptop says true. Predator. Fire4 said, I think you could find 72 versions on Daniel's laptop. Definitely.
72 space versions.
Upon that, Daniel's laptop said true. I see. Okay. All right. We'll see you soon. I still need to get better. Have a fantastic day, everybody. And until next time.
Lose faith. I tell you, lose faith. It's better for you.
Until next time, have a fantastic day. And as always, stay away from Islam.